opening drive of the game. St. Teresa's Shane Overrocker, what a nice night he had. 31 yards on this touchdown run. 7-0 Bulldogs after the first quarter. Overrocker with more than 150 yards rushing for the game. Now in the second quarter, the Bulldogs' Justin Brinkcarter, 14-yard TD run. Brinkcarter also scored on an 81-yarder in the second half. He also had more than 150 yards rushing, and St. T shuts out Clinton 20-0. Now another Okaw Valley battle in Sullivan as the Red
School Sprague Field tonight. Another conference game in the Okaw Conference as the Maroons host the Bulldogs of Decatur St. Teresa. Hi again, everyone. This is Larry Dooling along with Joe Spencer. Before we get into a lot of in-depth conversation in our pregame show about this ball game, mention the fact, too, the Clinton High School Marching Maroons Band is on the field right in front of us. They're lined up on the 50-yard line right at the center of the field. And Kevin Wall on the public address system is asking the crowd to rise to their feet. So before we get into too much conversation here, we're going to sit back and relax for just a moment, look toward the American Stars and Stripes hanging over the north end of the field as the Clinton High School Band presents our national anthem. We are about 10 minutes away from the opening kickoff in this ball game, and we're expecting a big crowd for this one here tonight. A tough opponent, Decatur St. Teresa, 3-0 on the year against our Clinton Maroons, who stand at 2-1 on the season. We see a number of cars still pouring into the parking lot, a number of folks making their way from their automobiles into the facility here to watch this ball game, and there is still plenty of room here, although we are expecting a big crowd here tonight. So come on out right away and make your way out here to Clinton High School to take this one in. It should be a good one here in Okaw Conference play between Decatur St. Teresa and the Clinton Maroons. Joe, the Maroons coming off a good win last week. They defeated Argenta Oriana 33-7. Argenta played a good, sound ball game, but our Maroons did some things very well in that ball game, and it was a good stepping stone into this tough matchup against St. Teresa.
Yeah, Argenta had a pretty balanced offense. We noticed last year they liked to pass the ball a lot, but this year they ran and passed the ball, but the defense did a nice job shutting down the running game first, and then when Argenta had to go to the passing game, when they got down behind by a number of points, the Maroons shut that down too, so the defense looked pretty good, and two pretty impressive victories now, with the one against Moments where the Maroons put up big numbers, and Argenta last week.
When we think about Decatur St. Teresa, we think back to about 4 years ago when the group that is seniors now this year at St. Teresa were freshmen, and there were awfully high hopes for this group at that time, and they were awesome as a freshman football team. Ours wasn't any slouch by any means, you know, with guys like Sams and Schumacher playing freshman football, and Graves and Igems and all the rest of the guys, but St. Teresa was awesome, freshmen, and then a lot of those guys played varsity ball as sophomores, and they've continued, of course, to build that program. It's been in the playoffs, it seems like, every year. They've had some success in the playoffs, although they've stumbled kind of early. This is the year they really want to make it go. This is the year that they really want to go the distance in the Class 2A playoffs. And so far, it looks like they're tuning up nicely for the postseason play, starting off with a 3-0 record. And last week, doing a real number on a pretty good Monticello team, 37-0.
Yeah, they put up big numbers on Monticello. The Sages just couldn't stop that potent offensive attack for the Bulldogs, and they just got buried by the initial rush. St. Teresa usually comes out of the gates ready to go and usually puts up some points early, and Monticello just got behind by too much too quick and couldn't come back, didn't even get on the board at all.
They feature a strong running game, don't they, Joe? And, of course, the guy that everybody talks about, although they really have two real good backs, but the one that gets the most of the press and most of the coverage on TV, on the highlight tapes and so on, is the guy that's been doing it now for 3 straight years. This will be his 3rd year. Shane Overrocker, that'll be wearing number 6 as you watch it on the TV replay.
Yeah, Overrocker is the main guy. He gets all the press. About to set the school's rushing record, has 397 yards already this year. he's the guy that gets a lot of press, but Justin Brinkotter, they just got him back. He's a big player that Davis, the coach of St. Teresa, thinks can really help out their offense as if they needed help.
And they haven't really settled on a definite quarterback. I guess they've got two guys that they kind of rotate back and forth. I don't know if they just who's got the hot hand or what the situation is there, since they do a lot of handing off or just running the option. Maybe it's not quite that important, but tell us about their two quarterback situation they have there.
St. Teresa rotates two quarterbacks, Joe Tapscott and Brad Bube. Tapscott generally looks to be their option quarterback, the guy that runs the ball a lot. Brad Bube looks to pass the ball a lot, and seeing highlights in last week's game, Bube did throw 2 touchdown passes, one to Wilkes and one to Tapscott, so he looked like he had an okay arm, but obviously with their not set on one quarterback, they can't really have two guys with both the ability to run and pass.
We're still about 5 or 6 minutes away from the opening kickoff in this ball game, so again, those of you listening live on the radio to the live broadcast, hustle on out here and get a seat for this ball game. There's still room for you. We want to have a big Clinton crowd here supporting the Maroons. St. Teresa's brought a number of folks over there on the far sideline. We're going to take a break here on our pregame show. Those of you on TV, stay tuned. We'll have the opening kickoff shortly and more pregame here on the radio coming up in just a moment. 1st and 10 for the Maroons. Is still time. 25 seconds. Quick pass. Here's a good ladder. They ladder down to the 10. Crowley's out of bounds inside the 10. Rolling out left. Looking downfield. Airing it out for Igins on the fly. 40-yard line catch. Short drop. Pop over the middle. Deflection. Intercepted by Josh Wilson. What a great interception. He's down to the 20. It will go 10 yards. It bounces up high. The Maroons have a chance at the recovery. It's still loose on the ground. Igins has recovered the football. Taking a lot of time. Could be the last play of the ball game. He shoots it deep for the end zone for Schumacher. Battle for the ball. He caught it. Touchdown!
Clinton Maroon football is brought to you by Clinton Chiropractic Center. Clinton IGA.
So the Maroons are heading out onto the football field for the opening kickoff in this ball game. Let's check in with our sideline man back with us after a successful week last week, doing a fine job down there, Mike Craig. Mike, by the way, this is for you, Mike.
Yeah.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thanks, Larry. I appreciate that.
Well, we kind of owed you something after last week. You know, you were right, we were wrong last week, so.
Okay, Larry, you can let that lie now if you want.
That's sort of an apology, sort of.
That's good. Thank you.
All right, you keep us posted on things down there in the sideline, all right?
We sure will.
You and Cameron.
Hey, we got our ball boy back.
Who's that?
Mike Mannix.
That's a good sign.
Yep, that's a good sign. We got the good ball boy back.
Gold pants, Mike Mannix, lasagna. We got everything going for us. All right, Mike, we'll talk to you later. Tony Simonson has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. The Maroons will be kicking toward the north goal. St. Teresa will be coming back toward the south. They've got 2 men deep standing back at about their own 15-yard line. One is Josh Wilkes, and the other one is Shane Overrocker, and the kick's going Wilkes' way. Goes by him. It's going to die around the 14-yard line. Wilkes will pick it up and try to juke a man and move it upfield. There's a flag on the play about where he picked up the football, and the Maroons cut down the return at about the 18-yard line. Let's see what the flag is all about. That was dropped right about where they picked up the football and returned it 5 yards. Still waiting for our preliminary official. Nope, he just dropped the flag. He waves it off. There is no penalty on the play. That one maybe he's just marking where he picked up the ball and grabbed the wrong thing.
Yeah, it was good pursuit by the Maroons coverage team there. Brian Preston had a nice shot at a tackle, and some other guys getting down. That's nice to see. You want to see the swarming type defense for the Maroons.
St. Teresa has 2 quarterbacks, as Joe talked about during our pregame show. And, Joe, who are the 2 again? Who should we be looking for here? Tapscott and
Joe Tapscott and Brad Bube.
Okay,
it looks like Tapscott.
Tapscott will start. 5'9", senior, 160 pounds. They'll pitch and try to run. Overrocker trying to get out around the corner, got around Nate Sams, gets around Igins, stays in bounds, cuts inside, then a good strong tackle, but a good run for Overrocker of about 15 yards out to about the 34-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was the 19-yard line. Overrocker got outside. Nate could not contain him, and then Igins also couldn't chase him down until he got around him, and a good positive yardage of 15 yards for St. Teresa.
Yeah, they ran the sweep over to their left of the offensive line, and it was a nice kick-out block by Matt Jedlicka on their offensive line. He put some good blocks on the line, and as you said, Nate couldn't hold contain. He picked up big yardage.
2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. The Maroons with a lot of guys up tight on that line. They want to try to slow down the running attack of St. Teresa. Long call by Tapscott. He'll give Overrocker up the middle. Met hard. McCleary has a hand on him, but he runs awfully hard, and he's still got 5 yards on the play. A lot of guys had hands on him. Schumacher was there. Wilson was down low. We saw McCleary hit him up straight, but not until he got a good, hard-fought 5 yards, almost 5 yards on the play. 2nd and a long 5 coming up for the Bulldogs.
And that looks to be one of the strengths for the Maroons this year is their talented linebacking core. Kevin McCleary and Josh Wilson have played extremely well this year, and they're going to have a big game tonight.
They're at the 39-yard line. The Bulldogs of St. Teresa at their own 39. Wide receivers both ways. I formation in the backfield. Tapscott with the call. Has the football. He'll give it to the first man, Brick Cotter, and he's buried immediately. McCleary was there to put him to the turf after a gain of maybe about a yard on the play, just across the 40, and maybe up to about the 41-yard line. As he fell forward, he got almost 2. It's 3rd down and a long 3 coming up for the Bulldogs.
Jimmy Savage also got a little piece of them, and they tried to trap that time. Defensive line held pretty well, as that hasn't been a weak point of the Maroons. They've held, as far as the running game, to the middle, their opponents to low rushing yards.
A little discussion among the officials about something. They are squared away now. 3rd and 3 for St. Teresa. 2 wideouts to the right-hand side. It's Wilkes and also Cox, but I look for him to keep it on the ground here. That's their power. Tapscott with a long call. Has the football. He'll get the Brinkcotter. Tries the right-hand side. Has the first down. He's still on his feet. They're trying to pull the ball out of his hands. He's still fighting hard. Got him surrounded, but not till he gets it across midfield. Pulling and shoving. And several Maroons had him surrounded, but they could not put him down until he got all the way to the 49 of the Maroons. Brinkcotter is a ton there. He's 6 foot tall. He looks bigger than 185. He's a senior.
Yeah, he ran like a horse up the middle on the trap play. Adam Moore had a hand on him, looked to try to strip it away, and they just couldn't bring him down and picked up big yardage.
They're in Maroon territory. Their second first down of this opening drive of the ball game. No score early in the contest. St. Teresa with a man on the slot right-hand side. Wilkes is wide to the left-hand side, out of the eye. Brinkcotter finds a little opening up the middle. Is caught around the ankles. McCleary hangs on and drags him down, but not until he gets close to the 43, maybe the 42. A quick gain of about maybe 7 more yards on the play. 2nd and 3 coming up now for the Bulldogs as they're at the Maroon 42-yard line.
Another trap up the middle. Brinkcotter bowling his way, picked up 7 as Kevin McCleary wrapped him up, got around his ankles and slowed him down.
A lot of seniors on this roster. Obviously, some excellent seniors at those skill positions, tailback and fullback, and Brinkcotter and of course, also Overrocker. But, you know, some of those linemen have been around for a while, and they know how to block, too. They're going to want to throw. No, it's a draw play. Overrocker got a big hole up the middle, has a first down, and Nate Sands grabs him and throws him down hard. Good, solid tackle by Nate Sands, but it's a first down to just inside the 35-yard line. That was a nice draw play. Made it look like he might roll out right and throw, and then the late handoff, and Overrocker had a pretty big hole up the middle.
Yeah, one of those delayed draws really catches the defense off center. I think they used that against Monticello last week. That was one of the highlights I've seen. It worked for a 30-yard gain there. Nate Sands caught on to it early that time.
Made a nice tackle on the play. So on a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of the Maroons. Now 1 lone back and 3 wideouts to the left-hand side, but they'll give it to Brinkcotter. He's got an opening. He's into the secondary. Schumacher grabs him, trips him up, but he's very close to another first down. I think he's got it inside the 25 and down to about the 24-yard line, Joe.
Yeah, Brinkcotter really being a huge force, started up the trap, then he kicked it out to the right side and picked up another first down on the play.
Keep in mind, last week the Maroons did some bending like this. They did some bending, but they didn't break except for 1 touchdown to Argenta. Of course, St. Teresa, a little different caliber than maybe Argenta Oriana at this point, but still, they have a tendency to bend and give up some yardage, but when it comes down to
the red zone,
they shut them down or do a pretty good job. Tapscott, well, again, handed off to Overrocker and a little bit of a draw, and he didn't get too many. He's tripped up by, I think, again, McCleary down low, and they got help up top. And down to about the 21-yard line, a gain of about 3 yards on that first down play.
Yeah, McCleary also, and Nate Sands also got in that play. They stopped Overrocker to a minimal gain that time, and hopefully they're starting to clamp down as we're getting deep into Clinton territory.
At the 21-yard line, they don't waste much time between plays. They get their play, they get up to the line of scrimmage. They're moving right along in this opening drive. 8:20 to go in the first period of play, no score. Tapscott sends a man in motion from right to left, from the I formation. He'll turn and hand it off to Brinkcotter. Grabbed immediately, but struggles forward very hard. And got a couple more yards inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. And there's a flag on the play. And maybe we'll get a little break here and get a hold against St. Teresa. Let's wait and see what the call is. The crowd is clapping, and they think it might be. And they're talking to Nate Sands. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and Lucas Ward's the player that had the running back wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He fought hard to make the tackle, but as you mentioned, a penalty.
A gain of about 4 yards will be wiped out by the holding call. It was thrown right in the middle there as they were holding somebody in the middle of the Maroons defense. And the Maroons obviously will take this penalty and shove them back. It would have been about a 3rd down and 3 situation. Instead, it'll be 2nd down, and they'll mark it back to the 31-yard line. So it will be 2nd down and about 16, 17 yards to go for a first down. The first down marker is inside the 15-yard line, just inside the 15.
And you'd like to get them to a short run here to where they have to pass the ball in a 3rd and long situation. They haven't put it up yet.
They haven't yet, but Tapscott now another delayed handoff. Overrocker's got an opening up the middle. Beats another man. He goes by Schumacher, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. That's the kind of way that he can run the football. Gets into the open field up the middle, and he's hard to contain. That little delayed handoff really sprung it open, and they're on the board. A 31-yard touchdown run for Overrocker.
Yeah, they ran that delayed draw to perfection. Nice lead blocks on the offensive front for St. Teresa, and once he hit into the secondary, he just had a lot of room to run and found himself in the end zone for a touchdown.
Score comes with 7:54 to go in the opening quarter. It's 6-0 Decatur St. Teresa on the 31-yard touchdown run by Shane Overrocker. The extra point attempt coming up here. Looks like they'll try to tack on the single digit with Andy Cox to boot. Placement's down. Kick is on the way. It looks good from here, and it is good. Timeout on the field. 7:54 to go in the first quarter of play. And our score is Decatur St. Teresa 7, the Clinton Maroons nothing.
Clinton Chiropractic Center, under the direction of Dr. Gregory Allen, specializes in the treatment of conditions affecting the spine and joints resulting from auto accidents, stress, sports, and work-related injuries. For an appointment, call Clinton Chiropractic Center at 935-6555, located at 203 East Side Square.
St. Teresa strikes first. They moved it down the field nicely, starting at, their own 19-yard line. Strong ground game. Overrocker and Brinkotter doing all the work, and Overrocker caps it with a nifty 31-yard run. And not just, although he did some nifty open field running there, dodging some people, and boy, he ran right past Schumacher there at the end. But he had a nice big hole to run through to start that particular run for the touchdown.
Yeah, and it looked like a few well-conceived plays. Obviously, when you're looking for St. Teresa to run, and then they set up like they're going to roll out, and then you have the delayed drop, puts a lot of pressure on the defense because they have a lot of options to try to cover.
Matt Urbanowitz, we remember him from last year doing the kicking chores, has it teed up at his own 40-yard line. The Maroons have Schumacher and Igens deep at their own 10-yard line, awaiting the kick, and the Maroons need to get a good driving going. Here's a nice high end-over-end kick, taken at the 13 by Schumacher. 20-yard line, looking for a hole up the middle. Goes down about the 31-yard line as he's surrounded by a lot of white shirts from St. Teresa, but that's not bad field position for the Maroons to start their first offensive drive. Now we'll see what the Maroons offense can do with the tough Decatur St. Teresa defense. And supposedly, we're going to put the ball in the air. We'll have to see if the game plan is still that, trailing 7-0 here early.
Well, I think it will be. They're going to try to open up the offense. And as you mentioned, look for Bob Igens to have a big game.
Maroons, of course, will have Nate Sams at quarterback as usual. Josh Wilson at the fullback spot. Randy Rich, big game last week on both sides of the line of scrimmage at the tailback spot. Two wideouts to the right-hand side. And, of course, it's Schumacher and Igens. And he wants to roll out right. He's going to run with the football, tucks it in, runs it upfield, and gets it close to the 40-yard line before he's run out of bounds. That's a good gain of about 8 yards on the opening play. Pretty conservative, running to the near sideline, the short side of the field, but it went for good yardage of about 8 yards.
Yeah, plus, well, there's been many plays where Clinton has rolled out like that and then passed the ball, so I'm sure St. Teresa was looking for a pass. Nate held on to the ball, kept it. He's a good runner with the football, and he picked up 8 that time.
Could open up some things later on. Now, one lone back in the backfield on the 2nd down and 2. It's Wilson. He'll get the call. Has an opening up the middle. Has a first down. He's to the 45, 47, 48-yard line. First down, Maroons. Wilson had a nice hole on the left side of that line and punched it right through there and then ran hard with his head down and got it all the way out close to midfield where the Maroons will have their first down of the ball game.
Yeah, and, of course, everybody mentioned before the game, Overrocker. Josh Wilson has been the big horse of the Maroon offense, and he picked up his usual gains right there up the middle.
Again, Wilson will be the lone back. Schumacher Igens to the left-hand side. Randy Rich lines up at a wide out to the right-hand side. Everyone else tied in the line. Sams wants a throw out in the left flat. Pops it out there. Schumacher has the catch. Has a first down. And then is brought down from behind, but not till he gets to about the 36-yard line for another Maroon first down. And that ball thrown by Nate Sams was right on the money. A good throw and catch. Sams, a Schumacher, a familiar combination.
It was a quick sideline out pattern. St. Teresa didn't have Schumacher covered well that time. Nate hit him right on the numbers and picked up a pretty good gain.
Thad Hardin runs the play in from the sideline, rotating at that offensive line position. The ball spotted at the 36-yard line on the left hash mark. Maroons already in St. Teresa territory. The Bulldogs lead Clinton 7-0. We're nearing the halfway point of the first period of play. Schumacher Igens wide right. I formation backfield this time. Wilson looking for some running room up the middle. Spins and gets a couple of yards. He's inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line before he's shoved back. A gain of about 2, and 2nd and 8 will be coming up for the Maroons.
Ran a trap up the middle that time. Good defensive surge by number 75, Tom Smith of St. Teresa. He was one of the leading tacklers there for St. Teresa.
Nate Sams brings him up to the line on the 2nd down and 8, just inside the 35, near the 34-yard line. 3 wideouts as Randy Rich goes wide to the left-hand side. He's back to pass. Pops out in the left flat. It's intercepted. And might go back all the way. 40, 50-yard line. 40, and Sams will catch him from behind and drag him down at the 25-yard line. But well read by Tim Shook. And Shook stepped in front of the intended receiver, who I believe was Schumacher, and just was off to the races the other direction before Nate Sams chased him down from behind. And the Maroons, good drive here, their opening drive of the ball game, is it results in a turnover. The interception, and St. Teresa's back in scoring position at about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like there was some confusion on the play because it looked like Bobby Igems and Ryan Schumacher were in close range together, and I don't know who it was intended for. It looked like Schumacher, but it looked like Bobby was going to go out on a quick flood pattern, then he cut his pattern short, and the pass was where I think Bobby was going to go.
From the 27. Big test here now for the defense, and they, I think, switched the quarterbacks, and then there's a flag on the play as that one comes off not too smoothly for St. Teresa, and it's a procedure penalty for St. T as Brinkotter ended up with the ball and was dropped for a loss on the play. So now do we have in there, Bube?
That was Bube.
Bube is in there now. They're going to rotate those guys. Tapscott did a good job on the opening drive, but now Brad Bube is 5'9", 155 pounds, and a junior, has taken over the controls here in the second drive. He's wearing 22 for those of you watching the television replay. A 5-yard penalty for procedure. It'll be first down and 15 now for St. T. Wilkes and also Cox go wide to the right-hand side. Of course, it's Brinkotter and Overrocker in the backfield. Bube with the football. Spins. He'll pitch. Overrocker trying to go to right-hand side. Maroon sending back the other way, and they swarm him under. All the way back to the 39-yard line. I don't know if I can give credit to everybody. Wilson was there. Jimmy Savage was there. Igems was there. There was a bunch there.
Yeah, nice initial hit, too, by Wes Graves as they stacked Overrocker back as the blocking gave way.
I think Nate Sams was the one that got spread out far enough to force him back inside and force him to try to return and spin back the other way, and then that gave Graves and the other guys a chance to knock him down for the big loss, which Joe was, where were we? We were at about the 32-yard line, so now they're back to about the 37, 38-yard line. It's second down and about 20 now for St. Teresa. They get back closer to midfield. Bube. That handoff to Overrocker deep in the backfield. He breaks a few tackles. He's still on his feet. Then the Maroons finally knock him down, but not till he gets inside to 30, and it was Wes Graves that finally made the tackle. Maroons had several shots at him about the 35-yard line, but he got it all the way to the 29 and gets some of that yardage back. It's third down and a long 12, maybe a short 13 coming up now for St. T. They're at the Maroons' 29-yard line.
And what makes Overrocker so dangerous is he hits the holes quick and he's elusive. You can't get him down with an arm tackle, and he broke some arm tackles there before he ended his run.
That's a big thing. He is elusive, no doubt about it. I formation. Bube will give the Overrocker again, the money man. And nice play by McCleary, but he's still on his feet, still hustling. McCleary with a man blocking him at his ankles, had his hands around him, but just couldn't quite hang on as Overrocker, very strong, sprung away, and he ended up getting it to the 22. I thought McCleary had him near the line of scrimmage, and I swear I saw somebody blocking him in the back when he's trying to make the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like it, Larry, but obviously the officials didn't see it, and that
fourth quarter, and I'm complaining already.
That just goes to show you what type of runner Overrocker is, though. He gets hit at the line, he doesn't give up on the run, and he picked up some extra yardage.
Fourth down and 6, St. T's going for it at the 22 of the Maroons. The Maroons need to stop here, obviously, trailing 7-0 with 3 minutes to go in this first period of play. A man in motion. Bube will turn, spin, hand it off. No, he'll keep it on the option. He's cut down short of the first down. They fooled me, but Brinkotter did not get the handoff. Bube tried to run it himself, and he was cut down about the 19-yard line. I don't know, maybe Mike Craig could tell who got in on that tackle. Mike, could you tell who stopped him on that play?
Randy Rich. Larry?
Okay. I thought maybe there was somebody else, but Randy Rich was the main man who made the tackle on the play and stopped him about 2 yards short of the first down. So the Maroons will take over at their own 20-yard line, Joe.
Yeah, and that might halt some of the St. Teresa momentum they were gathering.
Let's see if the Maroons offense can get it going again here. Quick pitch. Randy Rich trying to get around the corner. Boy, there's a swarm coming after him, and he's going to be dropped for a loss at about the 19-yard line. Good pursuit by St. Teresa. They're awfully quick. They always are. And he just could not get any opportunity to get around the corner and cut it upfield in that particular play. A loss of 1. Second down and 11 now coming up for the Maroons at their own 19-yard line. We're down to 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play with St. Teresa leading Clinton 7-0.
Yeah, it was a good fundamental defense by St. Teresa. When a team runs a sweep at you, you try to extend it out to the sideline, get them running lateral instead of forward, and that's what they did.
Nate Sams will try to get back his confidence, throwing the football, fires it downfield. Schumacher, a nice catch. He's going to get positive yardage. He's tackled immediately, but still gets a little forward progress after 2 or 3 guys grab him, including Overrocker, to make the tackle. He'll get forward progress to the 27-yard line, so the Maroons will have a 3rd down and 3. Good throw and catch that time. Schumacher with a man just ready to plow into him as soon as he caught the football, stayed with it and made the catch.
Yeah, and Schumacher is a very strong wide receiver. It's kind of like Jerry Rice in that respect, that he won't give up on a play, and he breaks tackles like that.
3rd down, and really it's closer to 4. Sam's back to pass. Short pass, got it to Wilson. Wilson's got a blocker out front. He cuts it upfield, 30-yard line, and looks to have enough as he went out of bounds around the 33-yard line. He had to get it to the 30, so he should have more than enough for a 1st down. Got a nice block out front. I think it was from Leggett.
Yeah, Clyde Leggett got out on the play on that designed screen flood pattern, and it was a nice job at blocking, as you said, and it sprung him for the 1st down.
They gave him all the way to the 34, so the Maroons, their 3rd first down of the ball game, at their own 34 with a 1st and 10. He sits them down. Sams now will hand it off. Wilson, good hole, right-hand side. Brings it upfield and is hit hard and knocked out of bounds at a 41-yard line. And who laid that hit on him? I saw 2 guys, Matt Nichols and another one, Ryan Campbell.
Yeah, Ryan Campbell really gave a pop on him.
Laid a lick on him when he was in the clear and had really some good running room, but then cut him down for only a 7-yard gain on the play when it looked like it might go for more than that. To the 41-yard line now. The Maroons in their own territory, but approaching midfield. 2nd down and 3. Sam's up under center with 1.5 minutes to go in the period. Again, it'll be Wilson. Breaks into the clear. He's to midfield, still on his feet. They've got him surrounded now, and they'll blow the whistles. But Wilson running just like he has earlier in this year, running hard, has a 1st down, and an additional 6 yards beyond that for the 1st down right to midfield, and the Maroons moving the ball well on the ground against St. Teresa.
Yeah, there had been some concern if you could run on St. Teresa. Wilson has looked very good on the plays up the middle and cutting out to the right side.
Maroons got inside the 40-yard line on their opening drive, but then Sams was picked off. But the defense rose to the occasion and shut down St. Teresa. Now the offense moving again. Fake handoff this time. Sams, option right, has an opening, 45-yard line and out of bounds around the 42. They'll give him all the way to the 40-yard line, and this will be close to another 1st down. I believe he'll be just short of the 1st down, depending upon where they spot the football here in the near sideline. The sticks, of course, clear across the field on the far side, and he will be about a half-yard short of a 1st down, Joe. 2nd down and not a whole lot to get another 1st down for the Maroons.
And what set up that run was great blocking on the right side of the Maroons' offensive line. Wes Graves, Clyde Leggett, and Kevin McCleary put on some good blocks.
This line's been terrific this year. There was questions about him, but they've done a great job. Wilson has the 1st down up the middle, kind of sneaking his way up inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line. He just kind of tippy-toed his way through a nice hole there and then dove forward to the 32, another Maroon 1st down. And I tell you, the Maroons offense looking awfully good here in the last few minutes of this 1st quarter.
Yeah, and they got a nice block from the center that time, Lucas Ward, to spring that play.
Ijems and Schumacher wide to the right-hand side. Sams will hand it off again. Wilson will try the middle. Bounces off a couple of tacklers. He's inside the 30 and down maybe to the 28-yard line, depending upon the spot. I think they're going to bring it back closer to the 29. But that's a quick gain of 3. 2nd and 7 for the Maroons as we're winding down. Less than 40 seconds to go in the 1st period of play.
Another trap up the middle, and the Maroons kind of using the St. Teresa playbook and running the ball.
This time it'll be Randy Rich, Schumacher, and Ijems, all 3 going wide to the left-hand side, with Wilson the lone back in the backfield. He's been a workhorse on this drive. They'll give it to him again. He's got an opening, then caught from behind by Urbanowitz. And then, oh my goodness, did you see Thad Harnett get thrown well after the play?
By Shane Overrocker.
But the official let him play. And Thad doesn't say a whole lot. He's a pretty quiet guy on the basketball court and on the football field.
But that was pretty obvious, though, too.
But you saw him kind of gesture to the official like, hey, what about that? First period is history. The Maroons will have a 3rd down and about 3 coming up when we resume play. They're at the 26 of St. Teresa, trailing the Bulldogs by a touchdown. St. Teresa leads Clinton 7-0. But so far in this drive, Mike Craig down on the sideline. It looks like that offensive line is holding their own, or actually doing a pretty good job shoving some people around down there.
Well, they're doing a good job holding their blocks, Larry. That's what they're doing. They're getting off the ball real well, and they're holding their blocks, giving Wilson time to pick the hole. Wilson's not blowing through the hole. He's kind of picking his way.
Well, it's working. The Maroons are moving the football. They'll have a Third down and about 3, and the ball is just outside the 25-yard line of St. Teresa. Clinton needs to move it on in for the score. They're trailing 7-0 as we start quarter number 2. Two wide receivers, Schumacher and Idens again, as usual. High formation. And keeper by Sams on the option right has the first down. He's out of bounds inside the 20, maybe about the 19 or 18-yard line. Take the hand off to Wilson. And, of course, St. Teresa has to be very concerned about Wilson. He's chewed him up for some yardage, so they're paying more attention to him now, and that's given Nate a chance to run the football.
Yeah, and that's really what makes Nate such a good option quarterback. He hides the ball well, doesn't let you see it, and you can deceive St. Teresa on that type of play.
Wilson comes out of the ball game momentarily. I'm not sure why, but he jogs off to the sideline, and the trainer's going to take a peek at him, so he's out of there. And we'll put into the fullback spot the guy that did very well for us, Ashton Duggins, in the game against Moments. They'll take the handoff to Ashton. Sams now will pitch to Rich. Doesn't have much running room, and Overrocker grabs him from behind and throws him for a loss on the play. Back to the 22-yard line, a loss of maybe about 4 yards on the play. The Maroons had a first down at the 18 after the run by Sams a moment ago, and now they're going to spot the ball at the 21. So it's a loss of about 3, second and 13 now for the Maroons at the 21 of St. Teresa.
Yeah, they went option to the left side. St. Teresa just did a nice job of stringing that out laterally toward the sidelines. And whenever you have that lateral movement, you can generally stop those plays going toward the sideline.
So now Duggins, the lone man in the backfield, 3 wide outside on second and 13 as Wilson apparently has leg cramps. Sams rolling out right, under pressure, now has some time. Does he have a target? Short man, incomplete, apparently intended for Igems at around the 8-yard line. It looks like from our angle up here in the booth that they're working on the left leg of Josh Wilson, and I think just working on a leg cramp situation, I hope, as they're trying to stretch out that leg and hopefully get him back in there shortly. We've got a third down and 13 situation facing us, however, Joe, at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, Nate kind of short on the ball. It's difficult to try to throw that pass when you're on the run. But it looked like he could have got some yards if he turned it upfield. He decided he thought he could get more on the pass.
Here's Schumacher and Igems going to the right-hand side. I formation, Duggins, Rich in the backfield. Nate Sams under center, dropping straight back, looking downfield. Over the middle for Schumacher in the crowd. Oh, he almost made the catch at the goal line. He had a man in front of him, and that man did not pick up the football in time and ran past him just before the ball arrived, and just enough time for Schu to get the hands up, but he couldn't catch the ball cleanly right in front of his helmet.
Yeah, Schumacher had a nice job of concentration with a man in front of him. He still timed the ball coming to him and almost made a spectacular catch.
Josh Wilson is back into the ball game. Ashton Duggins is out. Josh, after stretching out that left leg, comes in on a 4th down and 13. They played those first 3 downs without him. Might have changed the game plan a little bit, although Ashton was very capable in that Moments ball game. Don't want to take anything away from that young sophomore. Wilson's alone back in the backfield. Sams back to pass. Gets some blocking. Then under a lot of pressure, he's grabbed, and he's going to be dropped for a loss, and St. Teresa is going to take over on downs. The sack for St. Teresa will go to Craig Kramer, a 5'9", 200-pound senior. And St. Teresa, after they will spot the ball, will get it at their own 28 or 29-yard line. Sams didn't have much time to throw that time. They came pouring through there and were on top of him before he could even look downfield.
Yeah, they did. Craig Kramer was one of their holdovers from last year. As you mentioned, that class that has been around, it seems like forever. And he showed why as he came through on that play like a freight train.
Near the 28-yard line, they'll spot it. 1st and 10 for St. Teresa at their own end. Under 11 minutes to go in the second quarter of play. St. T is leading by a score of 7-0. Tapscott back in at quarterback as they rotate back and forth depending upon the series. Overrocker gets the call. McCleary hits him initially, and he goes down after a short game. Boy, McCleary knifed through there quickly and hit him down low and had him off balance enough that the rest of the guys could polish him off. Credit Kevin McCleary with the play on that particular play.
Yeah, Kevin had nice penetration. Lucas Ward also came in, put a pop on Overrocker before he went down. And that's what you got to do. You got to surround Overrocker because he is elusive and can break tackles.
Gain of only 1, 2nd down and 9 for the Bulldogs, just short of the 30-yard line in their own territory. New wide out here to the near side. The right-hand side is Jeff Morrison. Another man wide to the far side of the field. I think that's Cox. And out of the eye, they'll fake it and give it off to Overrocker. And he's met by Nate Sams, being pushed back. He's surrounded, and he is hammered to the ground for a loss on the play of 1 yard. These guys playing on the line, both offensively and defensively, are doing a terrific job for the Maroons. And I think it's a loss of at least a half yard or so back to the 29-yard line, where they'll be faced with a 3rd down and almost 10 yards to go for a 1st down.
And I think you have to credit the coaching staff on that one. They're putting some secondary guys up there right on the line. Wes Graves and Nate Sams. Nate came up with the play that time. They're bunching him. They're going to try to dare St. Teresa to pass the ball.
Will they play it safe and just give the ball to Overrocker again, or will Tapscott put it in the air here on a 3rd down and 10? Back at their own 29-yard line. They're leading 7-0. I doubt they'll do anything too crazy here. We'll wait and see. Tapscott, now he's back on a draw play. Overrocker trying to get outside, has to cut back, and the Maroons swarm him under at the 31-yard line. Josh Wilson was there. Also was there. Wes Graves, I believe, was in the vicinity. You know, there were a couple of other guys that forced him to come back inside that really should get credit on the play, too. It was a team effort, and the Bulldogs only net about maybe 2.5 yards in that particular series. It's 4th down. They'll have to punt for the first time in the ball game.
Yeah, and Lucas Ward also got in on that play as well. Good team tackling by the Maroons. That hasn't been a problem this year.
Jeremy Evans will punt it. He's standing at his own 20, and Schumacher standing at his own 40, awaiting the punt. Good snap, has the football, gets it away, not a very deep kick. Watch out for the bounce here. It takes a St. Teresa bounce, though, and then will angle toward the sideline and be downed at about the 44-yard line in Maroon territory. Pretty good field position when Josh Wilkes downed it for St. Teresa. Clinton will have it 1st and 10. They're going to spot it right between the 43 and the 44 in Clinton territory. And that's 2 fine jobs by the defense now after giving up the touchdown on the first drive of the ball game.
Yeah, they pretty much nullified Sam's interception, did a nice job there as well. And offense was picking up steam on the last drive, just had to turn it over on downs. Hopefully they can get something going here.
Hopefully Josh Wilson's legs can hold up on this particular drive as they're only 56 yards away from pay dirt. And Wilson gets a call on first down and gets a quick 3, maybe 4. To near the 47-yard line as he tried the left-hand side and then went down right in front of the Clinton bench. They only give him to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd and 7 coming up for the Maroons.
They ran behind the left side that time, got a nice block from Wes Graves, but it was good pursuit by the St. Teresa linebackers. As you mentioned, they're quick, they're fast, and they usually do have a good job of pursuit.
7 minutes and 40-some seconds to go before halftime. 7-0 St. Teresa with the lead. Schumacher's to the left-hand side. It's Igems and Rich to the right-hand side. Sams wants to throw. He's going to go deep for Schumacher, lofting it deep downfield and over everybody's head. Schumacher goes stumbling forward as he wanted to make sure that if Dave Rasho caught the football for St. Teresa, he wasn't going to run too far with it, and neither one of them could get to that one. Sams unloaded it awfully deep, and it was pretty good man-for-man coverage there on Schumacher.
Yeah, it looked like Nate wanted to loft it up, give Schumacher plenty of time to run underneath it. Just put it a little too far down the field.
They all played it safe. If it's not going to be caught by your man, let's make sure nobody can catch it. 3rd and 7. Big play here for the Maroons at their own 46-yard line. They'd like to keep this drive going. And Sams will take the handoff, then drop back under some pressure, breaks away from a tackler, rolls out right under pressure, now throws it downfield. He's got a man open, but it's over. It's incomplete. And taking a hard hit was Bob Igems at about the 32-yard line as he had to go high to try to bring that one down. He went over his head, then dropped in front of the safeties behind him, incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Bob Igems did a nice job of breaking off his pattern and trying to find an open spot to help out his quarterback. But Nate, on the run, just couldn't get the ball down to Bobby.
That'll force the Maroons to punt the football for the first time in the ball game, I guess, because we were deep once and we were intercepted the first time. Sams is standing at his own 40-yard line, not standing very deep here, awaiting the snap. Could it be a fake? He's rolling out right. He wants to throw it. Does he have a man open? Igems, he drops the football, and he would have been short. They read it well, and they made the play. At the 50-yard line, coming up to make the solid hit was Ryan Campbell, and he jarred the ball loose from Igems. And if Bob had gone down there, he still would have been 3 yards short of the first down. That's the play we used against Monticello twice to get first downs in punt situations.
Yeah, and it also looked like St. Teresa saw that tape because they sent a deep guy back. It looked like they sent Jeff Morrison or Matt Nichols back to receive the punt, but they also did a nice job, their linebackers, reading the pass.
Quite a gamble by the Bruins from their own 46-yard line to try to get the first down there. They're giving St. Teresa the ball at the 46-yard line in Clinton territory. The defense has played well the last 2 series, though. They switch quarterbacks again. Here's the pitch to Overrocker. Gets a block, cuts it up the middle, gets to near the 40-yard line before he's dropped. A quick gain of about 6 yards on the play for Shane Overrocker.
Bobby Igems had a nice tackle on that play as Overrocker had gotten by the line.
Looks like it might have been closer to, well, I guess maybe it is close enough to 6. We'll call it a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 coming up for St. Teresa. They're just outside the 40-yard line of Clinton. We're midway, just about midway through the second quarter of play. St. Teresa has the only touchdown of the ball game. Their opening drive, and Overrocker capping it on a 31-yard run. Now he'll try it again. He's the 40, 35-yard line, caught around the ankles and dropped, and not till he's got a first down all the way down close to the 30-yard line of the Maroons. A little bit ago, the defense didn't give him anything to speak of, but now he's had 2 pretty good runs here to start this drive from near midfield, and St. Teresa's just 30 yards away from pay dirt again at the Maroon 30-yard line.
They're running behind their left side, picking up some pretty good yardage. The linebackers did a nice job there stopping Overrocker before he could pick up some more.
Big crowd here tonight at Clinton High School. The stands are filled. There's a number of people along the fence watching this matchup between Decatur, St. Teresa, and Clinton. Here's an option pitch to Overrocker. Cuts it upfield, caught by McCleary, and then sandwiched between some others. Again, McCleary with the initial hit, slowed him down enough and stopped him after only about a 2-yard gain on that option to the left-hand side, which looked like it was run pretty well there, but McCleary made the play.
Yeah, it was originally they faked it to Brinkotter, and then they went out on the option, pitched it out to Overrocker. McCleary did a nice job. He wasn't fooled, kept his contain, and brought Overrocker down.
Didn't even get quite 2 yards on the play. It's second down and a long 8 coming up for St. T. Outside the 28-yard line of the Maroons. Out of the I formation. Overrocker gets the call this time. Has an opening on the left-hand side, but then the secondary comes up and puts him down just inside the 25-yard line, near the 24. And St. Teresa will have a third down and about 4 or 5 to go for a first down, depending upon the spot.
Yeah, they put Brinkotter on a trap up the middle that time. Secondary picked him up. Nice tackle to stop him before he could get a first down.
These guys for the Maroons, a lot of them go both ways. They got to be getting a little weary out there, but they're only down by a touchdown. They need to make a big play here. So they're trying to reach down deep and do it. Here on a third down and 4 for St. T. It's Overrocker trying the middle. Still on his feet, pushing hard. Still on his feet, still moving. Bouncing off tacklers, and he's inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. The Maroons had him stopped near where he needed to get to the first down at about the 20 or 19-yard line. But he just kept pushing there at the end, Joe, and got it all the way inside the 15-yard line for a for sure first down.
Yeah, showed his elusiveness. He broke some arm tackles, kept his momentum going, and you can see that he gets pretty good pop from his legs as he sprung open from a number of tacklers there and got a double-digit yardage gain.
Under 5 minutes to go before halftime. It's Brinkotter up the middle. He's in the clear. He's going to go in for the touchdown. Broke one tackle at about the 10-yard line, and then after the touchdown, there's a flag, and I didn't see what that was, but it's a touchdown for St. Teresa. They're up by 2 touchdowns.
I think they got one of the Maroons for tackling Brinkotter in the end zone.
After he was definitely in the end zone for the score. Some frustration on the Maroons' part there. And so St. Teresa will have the extra point attempt coming up here. The Maroons playing well with them here, the latter portion of the first quarter of play and early in the second quarter of play, but Brinkotter's run, which will go for what, 14 yards, Joe?
Yeah.
A 14-yard run for Brinkotter has put him up by 2 touchdowns. A little delay on the field as I guess they're waiting to decide what the penalty situation is going to be. I would assume that would be assessed on the kickoff. Isn't that normally the case? So they will have the extra point attempt first coming up here from the 3-yard line as usual, and they will go for the single extra point again with Andy Cox teeing it up at the 10-yard line. He hit one in the first period of play, kicking to the south goal, and now kicking to the north goal here. They try to put St. Teresa up 14-0. This all occurring with 4:46 to go in the first quarter of play. Placement's down, the kick is on the way, lone line drive, but it's through there. Timeout on the field, 4:46 to go before halftime. St. Teresa leads our Maroons by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. It cost them, as it turned out, and I'm not second guessing the coaches here, but in essence, that's what occurred. The Maroons tried to pull out the big play and went for it on a 4th down. They didn't make it look like that. They looked like they were in punt formation. But Sams took the short snap as he was standing closer to center, tried to throw it upfield to Igems to get the first down. St. Teresa smelled it out, cut it down, and actually got an incomplete pass out of it. And they took it right away and took it down into the end zone. So they capitalized on the Maroons on that particular play, and that's to their credit.
Yeah, it took a chance. I think it was a good risk, though, because the Maroon defense had been performing well. And it's just St. Teresa had some great blocks, and as you mentioned, I'm sure some of the guys that play both ways for the Maroons, they got a little tired.
I tell you, we get that play, we get that first down, we're rolling again, and the way the offense have been moving the ball, you know, they could have taken it in and it could be a 7-7 score, but it just didn't quite happen. St. Teresa made the play. To their credit, Campbell came up and made the hit and forced the incompletion. Here's the long hit. Urbanowitz going for the extra point attempt or the long field goal. They got the 15-yard penalty, and he kicked off from the 45 of Clinton. Just dropped it a few yards short, but that doesn't make any difference. It's a touchback. Maroons will take it at the 20-yard line. We wouldn't have given him credit for 3 points on that. Or would Mike have called me off on that and said it was a field goal? No, he's glaring at me. He says, just drop it. Forget it, Larry. Leave it alone. Right, Joe?
Yeah.
I just can't.
It is getting a little old now.
Oh, it really is? Let's see if the Maroons can put something together here from their own 20-yard line. They'll try Wilson up the middle, finds a little bit of an opening, and gets a good hard-fought 3 yards to about the 23-yard line. Mike, you've been awfully quiet down there. You have anything to say at this point in time?
Boy, Larry, we sure look like we can move the ball on this team, and it looks like we can stop this team, but we can't miss tackles like that on the run by Overrocker on 3rd down. You just can't miss those tackles.
I tell you, we looked so good the series before when we had him back there at about their own 20-yard line, and we cut him down on 3 plays.
Yeah, we had 2 guys have him at the line of scrimmage. McCleary and I believe it was Igens both had shots at him at the line of scrimmage and just didn't get him wrapped up.
So it's a 14-0 lead. And Jimmy Savage is into the ballgame offensively for Bob Igens. Bob has, I don't know, is it an equipment problem, Joe, possibly down there? They're checking on something. So,
yeah, it looks like his chin strap, maybe.
And now it looks like they're working down maybe on the legs or on the shoe or something. Quick pop over the middle. Wes Graves has the catch, and he is out to about the 38-yard line. Nice quick pop over the middle. Wes was wide open, gets the nice catch, solid catch, and runs it hard out to about the 39-yard line for a Clinton first down. Nice run and catch. Or passing catch, I should say, from Sams to Graves over the middle.
Yeah, and that's a play I thought the Maroons might use as Wes Graves just wiggled off the line from his tight end position. Tight end dump-off pass, got about 20 yards for a good play.
Igens back in there along with Schumacher wide left. And Sams will hand it off. Wilson cuts it back up the middle. 43-yard line goes down. A gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. We have 4 minutes to go before halftime, and certainly, even though we might be trailing at halftime, a score by the Maroons, making it, say, 14-7, for instance, would send us to the locker room in pretty good shape, however, in this ballgame. Certainly feeling pretty good about things if we can only trail by a touchdown at halftime to this strong St. Teresa team.
Well, yeah, and I think the Maroons can be encouraged, too, because they have been able to run the ball on St. T defense.
2nd and 6 for the Maroons. And Sams will keep it on the option left, cuts it upfield, has somebody on the back, but runs hard, and he may be about a yard short of the first down as he's close to midfield at about the 48 or 49-yard line. Just depends upon what kind of spot the officials give him. He was wrestled down just inbounds in front of the Clinton bench here on the near side of the field. And the clock keeps running as it's down to about 3 minutes. The Maroons have to go another 51, 52 yards for a score. 3rd down and a half yard, though, to get a first down and keep the drive alive.
They ran an option left that time. Good blocks from Wes Graves and Adam Moore on that play to keep the contain to the inside and try to bust it to the outside.
Haven't seen much of this look. A split backfield out of the Maroons this time. Sams is going to try the quarterback keep and has plenty for the first down. One thing about St. Teresa, and they don't quit till the whistles do blow, and sometimes they go beyond that, but, you know, they just keep jumping on you and hitting you and trying to knock you down, and the Maroons have been very strong. They don't want to go down easy, but, man, they keep getting pounded by St. Teresa.
Yeah, they keep the tremendous defensive pressure on. I think sometimes they hear the whistles and don't stop, but it was a good job by Lucas Ward there, the center, as he had a big hole for Nate to run behind to pick up the first down.
At the 48 of St. Teresa, 1st and 10 for Clinton. Sams going to the left-hand side on the options, going to try to keep it and is wrestled to the ground immediately by Urbanowitz. No gain on the play. It'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up for Clinton. Just nothing there that time for Nate, and they had Randy Rich pretty well covered against the possible option pitch there, too, it looked like.
Yeah, they kept both options covered that time. Good pursuit by Urbanowitz as they went option left side, and Urbanowitz has made a couple defensive plays for Teresa already.
Okay, the clock's coming into play now. It's just 2 minutes to go before halftime. 2 minutes for the Maroons to go 48 yards. Sam's going to try to get some of it here. A pass to Igens at the 45-yard line. Trying to slip by his man, slipped and fell down, but got some yardage to about the 43-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down, and what, about a long 4, short 5 coming up for the Maroons at the 43 of St. Teresa. Sams, yeah, I guess I should go ahead and say Sams found Igens wide open out there in the right flat. Bob just tried to make a little too nifty of a move there to get some more yardage and stumbled and went down after only about 1 more yard.
Yeah, it was a quick out pattern. Tried to fake to the outside and then go inside, but the defender wouldn't bite.
Official calls for a timeout. We've got a St. Teresa linebacker with a helmet needing adjustment. There's 1 minute and 30 exactly to go before halftime. Now, the Maroons have moved the ball farther than this in less time than this, at least last year. We'll see what they can do. Try to get on the scoreboard before halftime. Here's somebody fired across the line of scrimmage. Thought he was outside. Sam's running for his life. Now gets outside. Looking, cannot throw. He'll have to go out of bounds and stops the clock. Man, oh man, did it look like somebody in the middle of the line for St. Teresa was across that line of scrimmage. Yeah. Sam's actually got a little bit of a gain on the play, but it's 4th down for the Maroons.
Yeah, Nick Bain certainly got across the line in a hurry, as he was almost on top of Nate before Nate got the ball from center.
Nate running for his life. Got it back to the 42-yard line before he was knocked out of bounds and stopped the clock. We now have 1:19 to go, but the Maroons need a first down. It's 4th and 4 at the 42 of St. Teresa. Out of the shotgun. Looks like maybe it's a punt formation. He is going to boot it. And Sams kicks it high downfield. Fair catch is being called for and caught by Josh Wilkes at about the 11-yard line. I wish that one would have bounced off his shoulder pads, but he made a nice catch on it. And St. Teresa will have the ball deep at their own 11-yard line with about 1:10, minute 13 to be exact on the clock before halftime.
Yeah, as they maybe tried to fool St. Teresa a little bit, running out of the same punt formation. That time they punted the ball. They pinned St. Teresa back. Now if you can get a really quick defensive stop and maybe get a bad punt, Maroons still be in good shape, maybe get a score up before halftime.
I think the Maroons have all their timeouts remaining, so
They'll force a turnover.
They can stop the clock here if they want to after each one of the plays, but the defense needs to do the job. They've done it on a couple of drives in this ball game, but they've also given up some runs, a couple of runs. Overrocker 31 yards and a 15-yarder by Brinkhorter. Here's the pitch. Overrocker trying to get outside to the left-hand side. Got around the corner, and then he runs out of bounds and stops the clock and kind of looks a little disgusted with himself as he stopped the clock, although maybe they're still thinking more points. I don't know. Starting from their own 10, 11-yard line, I doubt that, but he got about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, they ran a option out there to the left side. Nice job pursuit by the Maroons. They just ran him out of bounds before he could cut it up the field and didn't pick up big yardage at all on that play. And going to force him into a 2nd and 3rd and long and hopefully try to make him pass the ball.
That only ran 6 seconds off the clock. There's 1:07 to go now before halftime. 14-0 St. Teresa with the lead. St. T with the ball, 2nd and 7 from about their own 14-yard line. Man in motion. They'll run it toward the middle. Brinkhorter spinning, still on his feet. He'll be stopped well short of the first down, about the 18-yard line, and now will the Maroons burn a timeout here? I don't see any sign yet. The Maroons are going to let the clock run, it looks like. Down to 40, 53, 52, 50 seconds to play. 3rd down and 3 for St. Teresa coming up. So the Maroons apparently not necessarily content, but willing to go to the locker room down 14-0 by 2 touchdowns here at halftime.
Yeah, but as I said before, I think there is some encouragement. The Maroons have been able to run on the St. Teresa offense, and St. Teresa, other than the first drive, really hasn't just dominated on the offensive side of the ball, rushing-wise.
Overrocker will get the run. Can he get outside? He does. He's got some blocking out in front. He may spring this one all the way. Look at Nate Sams gaining on him. Nate Sams at the 30-yard line grabs him and drags him down at about the 23-yard line. Boy, did Nate Sams show some quickness, racing and chasing down Shane Overrocker. But that's a long run from the 18 all the way to the Maroons' 22-yard line, and that stops the clock with 13 seconds left. But, Joe, that's a big tackle by Nate Sams. He was nearly 10 yards behind when he started making the pursuit and chased him those 40 yards from the 40 of St. Teresa down inside the 30 of Clinton to catch him from behind.
Yep, and that's just the type of effort the Maroons are used to seeing. They never give up on a play. Nice hustle play by Nate, and of course I say something about their running, and then they break a big play.
Well, it's all your fault, but we'll forgive you this time. Timeout taken here. Chuck Nagel's out talking to his defense and obviously saying, hey, guys, you only got 13 seconds here to keep these guys out of the end zone, and we go to the locker room still in this ball game. And, well, you just can't say enough about that chase by Nate Sams. It was across the field for Mike Craig. Mike, you were a long way away from that run, but that was a great pursuit job by Nate Sams to prevent that from being the 3rd touchdown of the ball game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of hustle, Nate, just trying to get back and get him stopped without giving up an easy 6. But I tell you, Larry, their offensive line really holds their blocks.
Yeah, they really do. Obviously, they're a very experienced group, and they're doing a good job. And that gave him the opportunity to get outside, and he's limping a little bit, Joe. Can you see that Overrocker as he comes back out the center of the field?
Yeah.
Maybe he's play acting a little bit for us, but...
well, maybe, but Nate did make the tackle, dragging him down by the ankle, so he couldn't have that ankle hurting.
It would have been real easy for Nate to dive for the legs and try to grab him and Overrocker to pull out of that, but Nate held on strong, and that was just a heck of a play. So St. Teresa still has 22 yards to go for a score, and they've only got 13 seconds to do it. They will take the pitch. They want to throw. There's a man, Campbell, in the end zone, and it's off his hands incomplete. Diving to make the deflection on the play was Randy Rich, as Bob Igens also had good coverage on the play.
That was a nice job by Randy. He wasn't fooled at all, stayed back, and knew exactly where to make his play on the ball.
Tapscott is in there on this series at quarterback. He's the young man that threw the pass. I guess we ought to be specific about that because they've used 2 different quarterbacks.
Well, their first attempt to throw it, too, Larry.
Now, they haven't had to too much. 8 seconds on the clock now. That ran 5 seconds off, so we're down to 8. Again, they're at the 22 with a 2nd and 10. They got plenty of downs to work with here with this shorter period of time, but the clock is the big thing. They might have time to run 2 more plays. Two wide outs to the right-hand side. Brick Carter is the lone man in the backfield. Overrocker's blocking on the play. He rolls out right, wants to throw, shoots it downfield. He's got it to Campbell. Now they need to make, it's Wilkes, and he's tackled and run out of bounds by Nate Sams after making the catch. And there's 1 second remaining. Unfortunately, they had to knock him out of bounds to stop him on the play at the 9-yard line. It's a first down St. T, and timeout taken by St. Teresa with 1 second remaining here. We'll keep it here.
Nice strong tackle by Nate. He made sure Wilkes didn't juke him and get more yardage. He put a heavy hit on him and knocked him out of bounds.
They threw it over Nate's head, and so Nate was running back to help out on the play as Randy Rich was between Wilkes and the goal line and made sure that he wasn't going to get by him, and that's when Nate caught him from behind and knocked him out of bounds. It looks like St. Teresa is going to try a field goal with this 1 second remaining. There's been a timeout on the field, and they brought the young man who's kicked the 2 extra points, Andy Cox, out there with, I think, the little tee in his hand to place on the ground. And where are we at? The 9-yard line. So this is going to be around a 25, let's see, 9-yard line, about a 25, 26-yard field goal attempt, Joe, it would appear, from the right hash mark, if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Timeout to talk about it, but that appears to be the case. I don't know, what's the wind conditions? We've got some breeze down there tonight, Mike. I look at the flag, and it looks like, is it going to be a crosswind or a little to his back? I can't tell.
Really, the wind's in his advantage because it is a little bit across and at his back. So the extra points were had a little distance, so he might have the leg.
Yeah, it'll be a little right to left, and he's on the right hash mark. It will be a 26-yard attempt. The holder is Anthony Wrigley. The placement's down. The kick is a low one and blocked. That one didn't have a chance anyway. Boy, the Maroons were all over that, and Leggett was the one who had it hit him right in the chest pads.
Yeah, it looked like the kick took a long time to develop, and Clyde just ran right through the middle, and it hit him right in the chest.
Now, I tell you, there's people out of the field tackling people. St. Teresa says after the block we can run it in. There's a lot of discussion. St. Teresa thinks they got a touchdown on the play. The officials are waving it off. They don't think it was a dead ball. And we'll see what the officials say. Is the half over? That's what we want to make sure, is the half over. I mean, there were players motioning the officials, hey, we can run this, and Wes Graves made a diving attempt on the young man that picked up the ball, Matt Nichols, for St. Teresa. It was all happening kind of in slow motion out there, and as it is, the period is over. They're not going to let them have that. So we are at halftime, and our halftime score, St. Teresa 14, Clinton nothing. We'll be back with our halftime recap in just a moment.
People keep coming to Dave's Food Basket again and again. Let's find out why.
I actually choose to drive to Clinton from Forsyth to shop at Dave's. The main reason is quality service.
I think all of the products and the variety, the selection here at Dave's is just wonderful. I really enjoy shopping here.
I like the store. It's clean and bright, and I like the people.
You heard it straight from our customers. Come see for yourself at Dave's Food Basket.
Back out here at Clinton High School, St. Teresa is leading Clinton by a score of 14-0. The Clinton M squad is on the field performing for this big crowd we have out here tonight. And St. Teresa in the lead, but only by 2 touchdowns here at halftime, 14-0. Right now, Joe, it looks like my score's out the window. My prediction of 73-66 isn't looking real good right now.
It really doesn't. But
hey, and the gold pants aren't pulling us through either. We got to get this offense turned around.
Yeah.
Go run down there and tell them they're wearing the gold pants, all right?
Okay, well, I think Maroons' offense has been somewhat successful. It's just they haven't had enough a sustained drive yet.
Well, we'll take a look at your stats in just a second. Let's recap the score. St. Teresa took the opening drive and moved it down the field pretty convincingly. Shane Overrocker, Justin Brinkharder doing a good job running the football. They were down to the 31-yard line when Shane Overrocker broke one up the middle on a delay and ran it in 31 yards at the 7:54 mark to go in the first quarter of play to put St. T up 6-0. The kick was good by Andy Cox, and they led 7-0. The Maroons threatened some during that latter portion of the first quarter of play And in the second quarter of play, while their defense played much better and held St. Teresa down, but then St. T got it back midway through the second period of play, moved it down the field after the Maroons went for it on a fourth down play, or tried to pull a trick fourth down play. They were in punt formation, tried to pass the win incomplete, and St. Teresa took over at the 46-yard line of the Maroons. They got it down to the 15 where Justin Brinkharter broke it and scored the second touchdown of the ball game with 4:46 to go before halftime. Again, Cox's kick was good. 14-0 St. Teresa, and that's where we stand here at halftime. The Maroons offense has racked up some yardage. You know, St. T, I know, has got some yardage in the books, but really, I don't think we can be that far behind. We just haven't been able to put it in the end zone like they have on a couple of big runs.
Yeah, Nate Sams on 8 carries has just under 30 yards. Josh Wilson, 11 carries, has 59 yards. Randy Rich has a couple plays for loss as he got strung out on some sweeps. Nate also had a good day passing, or good half passing, excuse me. He was 5 of 11, had 56 yards. So, and he hit Schumacher for 2 passes, 24 yards, and Wes Graves had a 19-yard catch. So the Maroons offense did move the ball. It's just it wasn't over a sustained drive. For St. Teresa, of course, the big gun Shane Overocker, on the strength of his 2 big runs, 1 for 31 and 1 for 60, has 165 yards. Justin Brinkharter has 53, and Brad Bugh, one of the 2 rotating quarterbacks, has a few yards, and then on only 2 pass plays, Tapscott was 1 of 2 for 13 yards.
Well, it could be a lot worse here at halftime, and the biggest play of the ball game, of course, it's very fresh in our memory because it didn't happen that long ago, and it stands out because it was, you know, it was so easy. It jumps out at everybody. What happened there? Overocker from his own 18-yard line gets outside. He's going down the sideline. He had some blockers in front of him. He's going to break it all the way for the touchdown. He's 10 yards ahead of Nate Sams, it looked like at the time, as we replay it in our mind. And Nate turns on the speed and chases him down and tackles him at around the 30-yard line. I think his forward progress took him all the way down to about the 23, 22-yard line. But that prevented St. Teresa from scoring a 3rd touchdown and being up by 3 touchdowns here at halftime. And who knows, that could be a big play when we get this game going in the second half. It sure looks big right now.
Yeah, just a great hustle play by Nate. He never gave up on the run. He didn't just, oh, Overocker's ahead of me, I'll just lollygag and let him go into the end zone. He kept his full steam ahead of him and caught him. As it looked like Overocker kind of lost his breath, and it looked like he wasn't running as strong as he had before, and Nate caught up with him. And as you mentioned, that could turn out to be huge.
Nate was closing fast. I mean, he was just gaining on him quickly, and not that I think Nate is slow, but it surprised me because, you know, Overocker has this reputation of being such a terrific runner, and obviously he's a strong runner, but he's got some good speed too, and obviously some very elusive moves. And the way that Nate just reeled him in there, that last 10 yards or so, and dropped him before he could get anywhere near scoring the touchdown was just an outstanding play in my memory. I look forward to watching it on the TV replay. We're at halftime, 14-0. Decatur St. Teresa leads the Clinton Maroons. We're kind of trying to keep an ear on how Monticello's doing with Sullivan and how Central Catholic's doing in their big ball game up at Pontiac. So we're going to go to a halftime interview here on the radio. Joe, who do you have tonight on the radio halftime interview?
Ryan Schumacher.
All right. Schu will be the halftime guest here in just a second. Those of you watching on TV will be back with second half action shortly. And we'll update you on maybe a couple other scores when we get the chance to. So we'll take this break and back with a halftime interview here on radio in just a moment.
When it's time for retirement, will you be ready? With rising income to stay ahead of inflation, strategies to minimize taxes, cash reserves for unexpected expenses, financial security to enjoy the retirement you deserve. It's never too early to start planning for retirement. Edward D. Jones & Company has the solutions you need. For convenient personal service, call your local investment representative today.
In Clinton, contact Tom Gaff, 935-3137. There's nothing like an exciting game to work up an appetite. At Subway, we have just the cure for your hunger. Choose from our wide selection of hot subs, like the steak and cheese, or choose a cold sub, like the Subway Club. Top it off with a bag of chips, a cold beverage, and some fresh-baked cookies, and you've got a great meal. We're open 24 hours for your convenience, so come on down to Subway, where fresh is the taste. Subway in Clinton, a proud sponsor of the Clinton Maroons.
Second half kickoff by St. Teresa. Urbanowitz hits it high and pretty deep. Ijams at, well, going back to about his own 6-yard line, trying to look for some blockers. Cuts it up the middle of the field, and we'll get it out to about the 20-yard line, and that's where the Maroons Maroons will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line after the kickoff. 1st and 10, Clinton at their own 20, and let's see if the offense can not just move it some, Joe, here, but let's take it all the way down the field. And, very important part of the ball game, the first part of the third quarter here.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things, keep the ball moving, but don't turn it over inside your own territory.
Well, we've only turned it over once. Sams was intercepted on the opening drive, but they've taken good care of the football since then. Sams will run the option right, finds an opening, cuts it upfield, 30-yard line, 35-yard line, got a block from one of the receivers and goes out of bounds near midfield. I think that might have been Schumacher upfield. I wasn't watching that closely to see who it was, but after he got a good run around the corner, he got a block about 20 yards upfield to get him an additional 10 yards or so. They're going to say he was out of bounds near the 45-yard line, so 1st and 10 for the Maroons after the 25-yard first down pickup.
Yeah, and it was a great job of blocks on the right side of the line. Clyde Leggett and Kevin McCleary kept the defensive line from making any play at Nate at all.
Wilson up the middle out of the I formation, struggles forward for about 3. The offensive line getting a pretty good push and giving him an opportunity to run, but he's not necessarily popping through the hole, at least on that particular run, but the forward push got him 3 yards to the 48-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Yeah, nice job as they went up the middle. And Lucas Ward is holding his own at center out there, creating some holes. He's doing a good job tonight.
Sams gives him the play, brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Schumacher and Eigens will go wide to the right-hand side. Wes Graves lines up at the tight end on the left end of the line, out of the I. Quick call. Wilson, try in the middle. Struggles forward. He gets across midfield, and he's to about the 49, maybe the 48-yard line of St. T. Another 3 or 4 yard pickup, and the Maroons will have a 3rd down and a long 3 or short 4, whichever way you want to look at it. For a first down, they've got to get it to the 45 of St. Teresa.
Yeah, they ran a trap up. Now they're rotating that end on the offensive line. Sam Simpson just came out.
Yeah, those two run the plays in and out from Coach Brian Knutson, who calls the plays. They're going to send Randy Rich wide to the right-hand side along with Eigens. Schumacher comes wide left. The lone back is Wilson in the backfield. On 3rd down and 4, St. Teresa acted like they wanted to blitz a little bit. The pass is touched by Overrocker, knocked incomplete. It was intended for Schumacher, and a curl into the left-hand side, and it's 4th down, and the Maroons have a decision to make here. And, in a game like this, trailing by 2 touchdowns, I got a feeling they're going to go for it here, Joe, even though they're just across midfield to the 48-yard line of St. Teresa, or at least make it look like they might.
Yeah, there's been plenty of times where Nate's been able to draw the opposition offsides.
Yeah, he's going to drop back in the shotgun, but he punts out of this quite often. He's got 3 wide outs to the left-hand side. Oh, they almost snapped it over his head. He's able to knock it down. Now he's under a lot of pressure. He's going to run with the football. Wants to pass, gets around the corner. Can he get the first down? He's very close as he went out of bounds. It depends upon the spot, and he got a very good spot. He has the first down. Scrambling for his life, Nate Sam showed some terrific athletic ability and gets the first down to the 43-yard line of St. Teresa, about 2 yards past where he had to get it.
Yeah, you don't say it often, but the bad snap keyed that play as he could. It was hard to handle. Finally tucked it under and ran for the first down. Nice job by Nate. Although he did get some good gawks, but for the most part, it was on his own.
From the left hash mark here early in the third quarter of play, Sams will spin and hand it off. Wilson up the middle, finds a little bit of an opening and gets it inside the 40-yard line, maybe to the 39, depending upon where they say he hit the turf, just inside the 40. A quick gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 coming up for Clinton. St. Teresa's leading 14-0. That was their halftime lead. We're just 2 minutes into the third quarter of play, and Clinton, on a drive from their own 20, has moved it to the 40-yard line of St. Teresa. They've done this before. They've been moving the ball down the field. Just haven't found pay dirt yet so far. On the 2nd down and 7. Option left. Sams has a little bit of an opening. Gets a block. Knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line. He'll be about 2 yards short of a first down, it appears, Joe.
Yeah, they went option left that time, and Nate running well on that option. And what a big play that could turn out to be, that broken punt play, if the Maroons can punch it in.
It'll be a long 2 yards, 3rd and 2 coming up for Clinton at the 35-yard line of St. Teresa. They run this option sometimes the short side of the field, and, it would look like it just would be so bottled up there'd be no way to get any yardage out of it, but the Maroons always seem to get some yardage out of that with Sams running the football. They'll try to get it here. Now, option again. Sams has got the blocking. He breaks into the clear. He's got a man grabbing from behind, but he gets away from that man and then is knocked out of bounds. Brinkharter finally runs him out of bounds after Dawson couldn't contain him. Out of bounds at the 22-yard line. That's a gain of about 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and Nate got some nice blocks from Randy Rich and Ryan Schumacher upfield. Randy Rich leveled the linebacker that was trying to hit Nate that he was blocked, and Ryan Schumacher also kept his man from coming up and making a play on Nate.
Clinton quarterback Nate Sams looks like a very determined young man right now. He'll hand it off. Wilson stumbling over his own man, and he trips and goes down. The guy trying to block in front of him got his feet out underneath him a little bit, and he couldn't keep his feet. Wilson couldn't. They kind of stepped on Adam Moore a little bit there and tripped and went down. No gain on the play.
Yeah, Nick Boehm kind of got a hand on his ankle, too, to trip him up.
So the ball spotted still at the 22-yard line with a 2nd and 10. It just seems to get tougher going when we get down this close to the goal line.
Yeah, St. Teresa really puts the clamps on.
Now look at this formation the Maroons will run. They've got Wilson as the fullback, and then Igems and Rich split behind. And Sams will option to the left. Cuts it upfield. Gets some good yardage inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. And that'll leave the Maroons with a 3rd down. And I'm just checking the forward progress as they move the sticks up. It's going to be a 3rd and 5 or maybe 3rd and 6, depending upon the spot. It's closer to the 18-yard line. So about a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Maroons. They've got to get it close to the 11, about the 12-yard line, somewhere in that vicinity. Schumacher, Igems go wide to the right-hand side. Rich to the left-hand side. Wilson's the lone back in the backfield. Maroons really have 2 plays here. They're going to try the quick pass over the middle. Good catch by Graves. He is hit hard, knocked to the ground, but Graves makes the catch. Does he have the 1st down, depending upon the spot? That was Overrocker that unloaded on him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it was a nice job, nice concentration job on Wes Graves. A lot of guys dropped that ball. Wes hangs on to it and hopefully picks up the 1st down.
Not only did he hang on to it, but then did you see him bounce back up and clap his hands and run back to the huddle? He was going to show that I don't care how hard you hit me, man. I'm still moving. I caught the ball. And kind of, you know, not trying to show up the guy, but just showing, hey, you're not going to intimidate me with that kind of hit.
Yeah, and that's big sometimes. It sometimes gets the guys in the huddle pumped up.
They measured for the 1st down, and we have the 1st down right at just outside the 11-yard line, it looks like. Mike Craig down on the sideline, checking it over. What are we, the 11-yard line, Mike?
Yeah, right on the 11.
Right on the 11-yard line with a 1st and 10, so we can get another 1st down inside the 1. Mike's going to keep us honest here.
But
let us know when we get in the end zone, Mike.
I was just going to say, Wes is one of those guys that's always enthusiastic. You tell he loves to play the game.
Wilson will try the middle, and not too much there this time. Stays on his feet for quite a while before he goes down, but only got about a yard or so on the play. We'll wait and see as they unravel down there at about the 10, maybe the 9-yard line. This is then the deepest penetration of the ball game by the Clinton Maroons here early in the 3rd quarter play. We're approaching the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. 14-0 St. Teresa with the lead, but the Maroons now with a 2nd down and long 8 from just inside the 10-yard line. Sams is under center. Lucas Ward with the snap. Sams fakes the handoff to Wilson. Option right. Trying to get around the corner. Gets a little bit of a block. It's grabbed from behind and swung down. He got about 3 yards more, maybe. And we'll see how far he got. Maybe to the 7-yard line before he's grabbed on the far sideline. Running to the right-hand side of the field. As they bring it back out to the center of the field, it looks like about the 7-yard line. 3rd down and a long 5 or a short 6 coming up for the Maroons.
Yeah, they kicked it out to the right side, and they got some good blocks. It was good pursuit by Ryan Campbell of St. Teresa to tackle Nate and throw him out of bounds.
Boy, we could sure use a score here on one of these 2 plays coming up. 3rd and 6 for the Maroons. They can get a 1st down inside the 1. Sams almost threw him across the line of scrimmage, and I think he did. Somebody jumped down there for St. Teresa, didn't they, Mike? You're along the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was Brinkotter.
Brinkotter was up tight on the line, and according to Mike, came across. Now, this is going to put the Maroons very close to a 1st down. Is this enough to give us a 1st down? I don't think it is it,
No,
Mike?
3rd and 1, Larry.
Okay, thank you. 3rd and 1. And where'd they spot that ball? What yard line is that? About
on the 3, I believe.
Well, it looks like more like 3rd and 2 then. Near the 3-yard line, a 3rd and 2 now for Clinton. Sams, quarterback keeper. Oh, didn't get much of a push at all, and he'll be shoved back. And we're going to have a 4th down play coming up. Boy, we just didn't, after pushing him back quite a bit earlier, we didn't get much of a push at all, Mike, on that one, did we?
No, we didn't get any push at all, Larry. They got a 290-pounder there, number 75, and then you got O'Bramowitz at 230. We didn't move them an inch.
Yeah, Tom Smith is listed at 290 pounds, 6'1". You're right. So it's 4th down and a long yard for the Maroons. What do you think, Joe? Do we act like we're just going to plow it into the middle and surprise them a little pop pass over the middle or something? Try to get the score here?
No, I think you plow in the middle.
Sams is going to roll out right. He wants to throw. Under pressure, it's deflected away and incomplete. Big defensive play. It was Brinkotter who came through and got in his face and deflected the pass. Thrown by Sams. And the Maroons are stopped down at about the 3-yard line, and St. Teresa will take over.
Yeah, well, the offensive gets stopped, but this isn't totally a bad thing. If the Maroons can keep them clamped down here on this side of the field, they can get good field position.
Was that supposed to be a little quicker pass than that, Mike? Did it look like maybe?
Well, Larry, I don't know. I think he was just going to, it was just an option for Nate to pick up, you know, a man out in the flat, and I don't think there was anybody open.
It looked like he wanted to throw a little quicker maybe to, I think, Schumacher off there in the right flat. I'll have to watch it on the TV replay to know for sure, but as it goes incomplete. Now the Maroons defense needs to come through with a big play. From the 3, St. Teresa will try to punch it out of there. Brinkhotter with a good strong run up the middle, pushing hard. He's got it out to about the 8, maybe the 9-yard line. A gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. And they will give him forward progress before Nate Sams brought him down to near the 10-yard line, about a half-yard short. 2nd and 4 coming up for St. Teresa. The Maroons burned about half the third quarter clock, ran about 6 minutes off the clock, but come up empty and still trail 14-0 in this ball game. The offense has done a good job moving the ball. They just haven't been able to hit pay dirt. On 2nd and 4. They'll run it to the left-hand side. Good strong run for Brinkhotter again. He's still on his feet pulling and goes down, but not till he gets out to the 20-yard line. And Brinkhotter, after deflecting that pass, making the 4th down play and getting the ball back for the defense, looks like a man possessed now. He is running very, very hard out there. First down out to the 20-yard line, maybe the 21-yard line for St. Teresa at their own 21, 1st and 10. St. Teresa with the football after making the stop on defense for the Maroons. Now with 4:50 to go in the third quarter of play. Under center is Joe Tapscott again. He takes the hand off the first man, then gives it to Overrocker. The Maroons have it bottled up pretty good this time, and they swing him down. It was Leggett on the bottom of that pile that made the tackle around the ankles and stopped Overrocker after a gain of only about 2 yards on the play. 2nd down and a long 8 now coming up for St. Teresa. 2nd and...
Ran a trap up the middle.
Pardon me?
Ran a trap up the middle.
Yes,
got
it was a trap
yards.
up the middle. That's very observant of you.
Well, I was trying to hear...
I know, you had a little outside interference there, didn't you? 2nd down and a long 8 coming up for St. Teresa. I gave him 2 yards. I don't think he got quite that much. They'll try Brinkhotter again. Running hard, the left-hand side. Grabbed around the ankles and dropped it not till he got to about the 27-yard line. So not any kind of secret game plan here by St. Teresa. They're just running it hard on the ground and trying to turn up some clock now with a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0. Still a long way to go in this ball game, though. Just under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter of play. Maroons defense needs to make a stop here on 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's really what helps them with their running game. Once they get a lead, they can chew up a long amount of clock if you can't stop them.
The Maroons have slowed them at times, but haven't been able to totally shut them down. Brinkhotter will get the call again. Still on his feet, has enough for a first down, and gets it across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. You know, they're turning to their big fullback a little more now here in the third quarter of play, and he's coming through for them, but we got to be careful. We can't let that Overrocker go too wild here. I mean, they'll pop it to him one of these times, and he'll be gone.
Well, I think they just about had to go to Brinkhotter because Overrocker was used so much in the first half. He now has 18 carries, and last year maybe you have the luxury of using Overrocker a little bit more because he was only a safety man, but this year he's a middle linebacker and playing a lot more time on the defense side of the ball.
From the 34, it's Overrocker. McCleary hits him and gets some help from Graves and others. They surround him and drop him. And Overrocker didn't get a whole lot, maybe to the 36-yard line, a gain of 2. You know, it'd be nice if we could just somehow get the ball out of their hands, strip them, knock it down. You know, slap it out of their hands and get it on the ground and get a recovery here and get this football back. The defense has played very well. They've given up 2 scores in this ball game. The St. Teresa team can put some points on the board. They put 40-some against Iliopolis and 37 last week against a good Monticello team.
Yeah, defense really isn't budging along the lines at all. No, hardly any give, and it's just the strength of the St. Teresa runners that's picking them up some
2nd
gains.
and 8, and there's a good solid hit again by the Maroons. Brinkhotter still keeping his feet moving, got a couple yards out of it, but he was hit right at the line of scrimmage again, Joe, and if he hadn't just worked real hard on his own with a couple of guys hanging on to him for Clinton, he wouldn't have gotten any yardage out of it, but he did get to the 39. 3rd down and about 6 to go for a first down for St. Teresa. Boy, we could really use a stop here and forcing the punt.
Yeah, that's one thing that Brinkhotter and Overrocker do well is they keep their feet moving and keep their momentum going forward and try to pick up some extra yards whenever they can.
Joe Tapscott under center, has the football. Gives it to Overrocker on a delay. No, instead he rolls out right. He wants to throw. He's got an open man, but he threw it behind him incomplete. And Lucas Ward was in his face, and that's why he missed his receiver trying to hit Nick Boehm out here in the right flat and threw it behind him. Lucas Ward was right there to force a bad pass.
Yeah, Lucas was the key to that play because Boehm was open, had room, probably would have got the first down. And if Lucas doesn't force a bad pass, St. Teresa still maintains possession right now.
So the defense makes the stop after St. T started at their own 3-yard line, got it out to the 39-yard line. It appears they'll punt the football. Jeremy Evans is on from his own 28-yard line. Schumacher waiting inside his own 30. End over end wobbly kick that's coming off to the right sideline, takes a bounce. Schumacher will have to step back and let it dribble by him. Gets a good St. Teresa roll and stops about the 20-yard line. That's where Clinton started their last drive. They got it all the way down to about the 2-yard line, and we're stopping a 4th down by St. T. They'll have to start again here with 1 minute and 38 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter of play and trailing by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. This time we can't be stopped. We got to take it all the way in for the score. Nate Sams got to be getting to be kind of a weary guy out there, but man, he has played a solid football game on both sides of the football. Leads him up to the line of scrimmage, the Maroon quarterback. He's carried a number of times for yardage in this ball game. He wants to throw here. Quick pass out in the right flat, overshot Items. Fired it over his head. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. The Maroons said they were going to throw the football some tonight, and they are doing so, but they are struggling a little bit. They've gotten some completions out of it, Joe, but some have fallen incomplete.
Yeah, it looks at times that Nate kind of rushed himself. He gets out of rhythm and just tries to throw it before he's really set.
Well, he feels a little pressure at times from that big big defensive line of St. Teresa. They'll run it, trying the right-hand side, little misdirection play, and it's going to get it out to about the 24-yard line, it looks like that time for the Maroons. The ball carrier was Randy Rich. One of the few times we've seen Randy in this ball game take it kind of into the interior, and he got 5 yards out of it, Joe. 3rd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, and that's where most of the gains they've got have come, Larry, is up the middle. You wouldn't think so because of St. Teresa's big defensive line, but that's where the holes have been.
Urbanowitz is 220 pounds, 6 feet tall. We mentioned Tom Smith, 290, he's 6'1" in height. Who else do they have in there? Nate Frazier, I guess that's not Frazier. I'll have to double check that number. Sam's wanting to throw. Has a completion. Items gets the first down after spinning away from a tackler. He's still on his feet. Into the clear to the 40-yard line to the 41. Bob Igems with a great catch and run. Caught it about a yard short of the first down, but spun away from his defender. They get the first down and plenty more for the Maroons and a first down, Clinton.
Yeah, it was a great play by Bobby. He cut his pattern a yard short of the first down, but made a great spin move along the sidelines and then broke a few more tackles to get up to the 40-yard line.
35 seconds to go in the 3rd period of play. Clinton, another drive, moving in the right direction. They've got 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Sams will hand it off to Wilson up the middle, pushing hard, gets it out to about the 44-yard line. A quick gain of maybe 3 or 4 yards on the play, depending upon the spot. And maybe time for one more play if they get up to the line of scrimmage in time. 15 seconds. Thad Harnett is running in from the sideline, and Thad not in a big hurry. I think they might run out the clock here in the 3rd period of play. 6 seconds, 5 seconds as they head up to the line of scrimmage. Clinton with a 2nd down and 7. And that will do it for the 3rd period of play. The scoreless 3rd period. Clinton played St. Teresa even. Steven, as a matter of fact, probably outplayed them. We came closer to scoring by far than they did, but the Maroons weren't able to punch it in the end zone. But they're starting another drive. We'll come back with it in just a moment. When we start the 4th period of play, St. Teresa leads Clinton 14-0.
Mark them down and move them out. That's the battle cry at Walker Tire and Exhaust. There is no need to worry about your vehicle making it through the fall and winter months when you can drive right into Walker Tire and Exhaust and drive home with a new set of Goodyear all-season radials. They've got a full line of savings on all tires, whether it's for cars or light trucks. They're designed for traction and handling, no matter what the forecast calls for. So let it rain, let it sleet, let it snow. Walker Tire and Exhaust is ready for all your vehicle needs. Let the owners, David or Philip Maxwell, guide you in the right direction. Good luck, Clinton Maroons. Your friends and neighbors at Gibson Ace Hardware are proud to sponsor another season of exciting Maroon football. Quality, service, and value set Ace apart from the competition. For 35 years in Clinton, Ace has been the leader in hometown customer service. The Ace buying power of over 5,000 stores guarantees you everyday value pricing and great monthly specials. We thank you all for your continued support as we root on the Clinton Maroons to another great season.
Not a bad third quarter play for the Clinton Maroons, but Joe, they don't have anything to show for it as far as points on the board. We had a great opportunity to score, but St. Teresa rose to the occasion and made the play when they had to keep us out of the end zone.
Yeah, it was a huge play by Bame to bat the ball down on the fourth down play.
Brinkotter, wasn't it? I thought it was. Okay, go ahead.
I thought it was Bame, 89.
No, you can think it whoever you want it was. That's fine.
But
take your choice. Pick a number.
It was a huge play, and
who was it? Who was it, Noosh? He doesn't know. He doesn't have a clue. Go ahead,
89.
Joe.
Yeah, Bame.
Okay, all right.
So I was right.
Hey, look at him jump at it when you help him out like that. Okay, all right. Hey, Phil, who was it? Yeah, Phil doesn't know. He's just watching. He's just
Larry
trying to keep his camera on it.
Larry always.
I'm not asking. You know who I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I'm not asking Mike. Were you going to say something?
Larry always tries to make it sound like I'm always the one wrong. So
I'm not trying to make it sound that way. It just happens that way.
Oh, right.
When we resume play, it'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Clinton Maroons. The ball is spotted at the 43.5 plus 2 inches yard line. See, I'm being very, very precise now so that, you can't nail me on anything here. And Clinton needs to get some points on the board here in the early portion of the fourth quarter of play. It's not the absolute end of the world because this team knows how to score in the waning seconds. At least they did last year, but really could use a boost. Here's an option. They drag down Sands, but he got it to Rich, and Rich gets it out of bounds. He got about a 1-yard gain. Boy, Nate somehow got that pitch away with Craig Kramer hanging all over him there.
Yeah, what a play by Nate. As you mentioned, Kramer, heavy pressure, and he got the pitch off to Randy Rich. And Randy picked up a yard, but it's better than a loss of 4.
Almost a gain of 2. It's 3rd and 5 coming up. A long 5 for the Maroons. The ball's just across the 45. Early in the fourth period of play, 14-0, St. Teresa with the lead. Maroons in their own territory, but near midfield. Die formation. Sam's wanting to throw. Has Schumacher out in the flat, makes the catch. His defender went for the interception and didn't get it, and then Shu was almost able to break away, but another defender came over and made the tackle. Tim Shook, who got the interception early in the ball game, makes the tackle, but Shu has the first down to the St. Teresa 43-yard line. He got a couple extra yards at the end after making the catch.
Yeah, it was a big gamble by Wilkes. I think he was the one that went to bat the ball down on the play, and if Shook doesn't come over and help him out, Schumacher might have had a even bigger play than that.
I thought it was 89. Just kidding. Wasn't it 89, Noosh? Yeah, give me the thumbs up. 1st and 10 for the Maroons at the 44 of St. Teresa. I don't worry about their guys as much as I worry about ours, though. Nate to Wilson, up the middle, pushing hard, squirts through. Did the ball get loose on the turf? Who's got the football if it was dropped on the ground? It looks like Clinton still has the football, whichever way it went there. I didn't see if it actually came loose or not. Mike Craig, did that come loose, or could you tell from the sideline?
I believe maybe the ground broke it loose. I think when he hit the ground, the ball popped out, but he got it right back.
At the 40-yard line, the Maroons will have a 2nd down and 6. And we'll have in addition to the play coming in from the sideline, another substitution. Wilson's going to come out of the ball game.
Brian Preston came in.
Brian Preston is in, so what are we doing here? A little different formation.
He's wide out.
Schumacher's in the backfield, too. Shu's going to go a motion to the right. Shu with Sams rolling out over the middle, gets the pass complete, and then the receiver, who I believe was Ijams, after taking a couple steps away from the Maroon goal, turns around, retreats, and gets it to the 33-yard line. Bob was wide open over the middle, and then I wonder which direction he was going to go with the ball for just a second, but he reversed his field, and he has the first down.
Yeah, and I think St. Teresa was thinking the same thing you were, Larry. They all kind of hung around waiting for Schumacher, who was the decoy on that play to get the ball.
Guy. Yeah.
And they topped it to Bobby, and I think he just lost his balance. That's why he sprung forward, and then he went back.
33-yard line at St. T. Sam's on the option right, covered closely, gets to the Rich on a little pitch, and Rich will cut it upfield, goes out of bounds. Didn't get too much yardage on that particular play. They were penetrating pretty good and spread it out, and Nate was retreating from the very start when he had to give it up, or he would have been drugged down for a loss on the play.
Yeah, and a couple good pitches by Nate, because even though Randy only gets a few yards on that play, if Nate doesn't make the pitch, it's a few yards behind the line of scrimmage where the ball, where the line of scrimmage would be on the 2nd down play.
The Maroons did get it inside the 32, so they have about a 2nd down and 9 situation with Schumacher and Ijams wide to the right. They're up tight on the line. Look how close they bring those linebackers. Sam's back to pass, looking downfield, has the rollout left. He's being chased hard. He's going to have to run with the football. Cuts it inside a defender and goes down hard, but he got it to the 27. and got about 3 or 4 more yards. Had to give that one up. They had Idgens pretty well covered, I think, who was coming off that one side, or maybe that was Wes Graves who was coming off from his tight end spot in the left end of the line as he was looking left to start. 3rd down and about 5 to go for a first down.
And it was good improvisation by Nate once again. Didn't see anything downfield, so he tried to get what little gain he could out of it.
Clock's not moving real fast. We're just inside 10 minutes to go in the 4th period of play. Crowd trying to instill some enthusiasm in this football team, which is hanging in there, down 14-0. Sams will pitch it back. Is he going to throw? Randy Rich is going to throw. Wobbly pass incomplete, well short, I believe, of his intended receiver, Schumacher. Didn't sell it well enough.
No, I think he tried to throw it a little too soon.
Yeah, I think so, too. Could have made it look like he was going to run with it just a little bit longer, but Randy's heart, I imagine, was pumping a little bit. Oh, boy, here's my play. I got to throw. That, that's not easy. Not easy at all. 4th down and 5. Maroons are going to the bag of tricks a little bit here, trying to cross up St. Teresa, and they got him wondering a little bit. From the 28-yard line, here's a big play. Another 4th down play for the Maroons. 4th and 5 for Clinton. Let's get it this time. Sam's back to pass. Under a lot of pressure. Screen pass. Got it to Wilson. Got some blockers upfield. He's got the first down. 30-yard line. Goes down, the 20 to about the 16-yard line.
Nice flood pattern by Wilson. Had some good blocks from Clyde Leggett, Kevin McCleary, and a tackle by Josh Wilkes saves the touchdown.
He's inside the 16, almost to the 15-yard line. Another Clinton first down, but 9.5 minutes to go in the ball game. The Maroons trying to draw within a touchdown of Decatur St. Teresa. 14-0 Bulldog lead over the Maroons. 2 wides to the wideouts to the right-hand side. Sams, option right, short side of the field. Gets it to Rich. He tippy-toes out of bounds, and not much gain on the play as he was run out of bounds by Tim Shook near the original line of scrimmage, the 16. Just not a lot of running room to that short side of the field this time, the right side of the field, as the Maroons going toward the north goal. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Clinton. St. Teresa defense, hands on the hips a little bit, looking just a little weary out there. They play a lot of guys both ways. Maybe not quite as many as we do, but they got a lot of guys that play a lot of time on the football field. Out of the eye. Sams fakes the handoff. He's got time to throw this time. He's looking for Graves down near the goal line. Off his hands, incomplete. Wilkes again looked like he was going for the pick, and it got over his head, but Graves wasn't able to pull it in after it was deflected a little bit near the goal line, or that would have been 6.
Yeah, Wilkes misplayed it. At first he made a good read. He didn't buy the ball fake by Nate, and he closed on the ball well, but then he went for the pick and took himself totally out of the play and gave Wes a good shot at catching the ball.
Clinton will take time out. We will also. This drive has been moving well, but now they've got a 3rd and 10 at the 16-yard line. When we come back, 9:15 to go in the ball game. St. Teresa leads Clinton 14-0.
Rulick is proud to
that in ball games last year, in just a few seconds remaining in the ball game, pulled them out. So when you got 9:15 still remaining in the ball game, even though you're playing a team the caliber of St. Teresa, there's still time to put some scores on the board. But here we're faced with a 3rd down and 10. We've got to keep this drive alive. We can't let another one stall this close to the end zone. Now we're at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and 10 is a tough situation, but Larry, right now it's 2-down territory, and that's how you got to think. If you don't get it here, get as many yards as you can and get it on the next play.
It'll be interesting to see what the Maroons offense comes up with this time. They've tried some trickery. They've had a pretty good offensive ball game, though, running the ball right at them, running the option at times, a little bit of throwing. It's been a good mix. Out of the eye, Sams, reverse play to Idgens, but he's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage and dropped at about the 17-yard line. Urbanowitz stayed home, and big number 77, Matt Urbanowitz, was there to make the play and make the tackle as Idgens tried, once he saw Urbanowitz standing in his way, tried to cut it up the middle of the field, and a 1-yard loss on the play. 4th and 11.
Yeah, it didn't fool St. Teresa. Urbanowitz and Bame sandwich Bobby for a loss, and now that sets up a difficult 4th and 11 play.
That would look like the play that we could have got probably some pretty big yardage on last week, but we fumbled that pitch between Sams and Idgens. This time it came off cleanly, but it just wasn't there. Sams with one lone back, Wilson. Got to convert this one. He's going for the score. Schumacher in the end zone. Deflected and incomplete. They had a couple of men there, and they knock it away. Matt Nichols was in front to tip the ball away, and I think there was also Dave Rasso there to defend on the play, and Schumacher in the deep right-hand corner of the end zone didn't have a chance to catch that one, and the defense is going to have to hold St. Teresa again. They'll take over at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, and Nate threw it to the right guy, and Schumacher. Everybody was covered well, And in that situation, you generally go to your big play guy, but it was just good defense by St. T.
Tell you what, this has been a good football game here tonight. It's not over yet. 8.5 to go in the ball game, but some awfully good defense by both teams played in this ball game. And St. T, they have been doing some bending in this ball game, but they have not broke. They have been able to hold their ground when the Maroons have been knocking at the door. They switch quarterbacks again, don't they? And on first down, they'll try the run to the middle. Overrocker still on his feet, scrambling hard. Gets it beyond the 25 to about the 27-yard line before he's drugged down around the ankles by Wilson. Schumacher was there, and Sam's up top to finish him off. But it's very close to a first down, about a 10-yard gain for Overrocker.
Yeah, they ran him off that left side. It's been pretty successful. They've been getting good blocks from Matt Jedlicka and Lucas Crockett on that side of the offensive line.
They're short of the first down, about a yard short. 2nd and 1 coming up for the Bulldogs at about their own 27-yard line. One wide out to the right-hand side. That's Wilkes. They'll try the middle, and Spring Cotter got an opening. Schumacher grabs him and then gets help from Igems. They knock him down, but about a 5-yard gain to the, or maybe 4, to the 31-yard line. A first down for St. Teresa. They just continue with that good, strong running game, and they're trying to run out the clock, protecting a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0.
And nothing exciting for St. Teresa. Now it's just handed off to either Brinkott or Overrocker and try to run out the clock like you said, Larry.
I tell you, Coach Nagel told me something that scared me to death. And it really wasn't anything that astonishing, but he said that they got a chance to look at the film early this week of the Monticello game, St. Teresa Monticello last week, and he said Monticello played him real well. That didn't make me feel real good because of the outcome of that game. Here's Overrocker trying to get outside. Wes Graves giving pursuit. And the Maroons knock him out of bounds right into Brian Knudsen. I think, or no, that's Coach Hickman down there, yeah. But only a couple-yard gain on the play, out to about the 35-yard line, a gain of about 3. Well, they played them tough, but they lost 37-0. I'm thinking, man, if we play them tough, what does that mean? But we have played them tough, and we are down by 2 touchdowns, 14-0. But I think the Maroons obviously have played them tougher than Monticello did. I certainly would hope so.
Man,
the score on the board, anyway.
And a big play, turnover here. I mean, Maroons aren't out of the game yet, as you mentioned. Anything can happen.
Boy, St. Teresa's taking good care of the football, though. They'll continue with the run. Oh, there it is. It's on the ground, and the Maroons say they recovered.
I didn't know that was coming, Larry, but
Joe called it. That's what I remember you doing that last year for me. And they say Lucas Ward made the recovery at the 35-yard line. Just a bad handoff from quarterback to running back, and it got loose, and Joe is just glowing. He's so proud of himself. That-a-way, Joe.
What can I say?
7.5 minutes for the game. The Maroons are in business again at the 35 of St. Teresa. Sam's wants to throw. He pump fakes. He's going deep for Schumacher. Can he run underneath this one? He is there. Oh! At the 2-yard line, through his hands and incomplete. May tried to make the diving catch. Wilkes was trying to stay with him, but Schu had his hands on it, couldn't hang on as he fell to the turf diving for the football near the goal line.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass by Nate. He laid it up for Schumacher, let Schumacher run under it. Schumacher completely stretched out, almost made a magnificent catch.
That's a nicely thrown ball from Nate Sams, and he had to lead him. He had to give him a chance to get away from Wilkes and run under that football, and he just about did it. 2nd and 10 for the Maroons at the St. Teresa 35-yard line. Somehow we got to get this ball in the end zone. Sams from the eye. Option right, short side of the field. Going to run on his own. Now he pitches to Randy Rich, and he's out of bounds. They're going to give him forward progress to about the 30-yard line. That's a pitch, a lateral pitch, but a legal one. And got him about 5 yards on the play, a 3rd down, and a long 5 coming up for the Maroons just outside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, once again, Nate waiting to the optimum time to pitch it off to Randy as he has a guy draped on him, and he still somehow got the pitch off. And now Preston comes back in for Wilson, so you might see that same formation
again. We're going to see Schumacher in the backfield again, aren't we? And 3 wideouts to the right-hand side with Preston joining Randy Rich and Bob Igems. St. Teresa will try to adjust. Now Schumacher goes wide to the left-hand side. They'll pop it over the middle. Igems has the catch. 20-yard line, still on his feet. 15-yard line, and down to the 13-yard line. Igems that time caught it with his momentum going toward the goal line and was able to run it all the way down to about the 13-yard line for another Maroon first down. He is slow getting up. I don't know if he's bothered a little bit by leg cramps or what the situation is. Now he's up on his feet. He'll return to the huddle.
And a big block downfield by Wes Graves. That allowed Igems to cut to the inside and pick up more yardage as Wes completely plowed. I think it was Josh Wilkes.
Still just under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Maroons will keep it on the ground this time. Rich try in the middle, and he pops it down close to the 10-yard line. We'll see how much forward progress he got. Yeah, that's Randy. That stretches out to about the 10. A gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 coming up for the Maroons. It looks like it's closer to 2nd and 8 by the way they put the yard marker on the far side of the field. They didn't give him all the way to the 10. It's between the 11 and 10-yard line, it appears. This time the Maroons will send 2 wide to the right-hand side. Schumacher and Ijum. From the I, Wilson and Rich. Wilson gets the call. Stumbles forward, gets down close to the 9, maybe the 8-yard line. Maroons run a little bit of a power game there. And he had a little trouble when he got the handoff. I don't know if one of the St. Teresa players had an arm on him, slowed him down a little bit, and that slowed down his forward progress a little bit. He's just inside the 9. It's 3rd and 5 coming up for the Maroons.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Wilson to hang on to the ball. It looked like it might come out. Kept his arms around it.
I tell you, if the Maroons score, this place is going to erupt. They have just been on the verge so many times. Sam's bootleg trying to roll out to the left. Caught by the shirt tail, and he's going to be struck down for a big loss, and it's Urbanowitz who makes the sack all the way back to the 20-yard line. Instead, it's the stands on the far side that erupts to an extent, the St. Teresa fans.
Yeah, you don't get to see a guy that kicks off make too many plays usually, but he's also a defensive lineman, Urbanowitz. That's a huge play for St. Teresa.
It's a loss to the 19-yard line. The Maroons can get a first down inside the 3, but they are faced now with a 4th down and about 15 yards, something like that, 16 yards to get a first down. And you know they want 6. Big play here. Wideouts both ways. Split the backfield this time. Stumbles a little bit as he backs up. Looking for a short pass. Now rolling out right. Ijum's trying to clear out to the right-hand side. He's going to throw it for Ijum's down there in the corner, but it's short and incomplete as he was under a lot of pressure. Urbanowitz is in his face again and others. And the Maroons will have to turn it over again. The offense just can't quite capitalize once more in this ball game. And now St. Teresa will have the ball with 5 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it was good defense by St. Teresa. It looked like they were trying to get the ball to Schumacher on a very short pattern and let him run with it. And then that was covered up well, so Nate scrambled to the other side of the field and just didn't have enough on the pass to get it to Bobby.
How many points has St. Teresa given up so far this year? The answer is 6 points. None to Illiopolis, 6 to Carlinville, none to Monticello, and 3.5 quarters, 0. Yeah, we're seeing why right here, aren't we? From their own 19-yard line, 1st and 10 for St. T. Again, we're sure they'll try to be conservative and run out the clock. It's Brent Cotter. He broke some tackles. He's into the clear. Bob Ijum's had his back turned to the play, and he's across midfield, 40-yard line. Randy Rich trying to catch him, but Wilkes is going to be there to try to block him, and Brent Cotter is going to break it and put this ball game away for St. Teresa. That time the Maroons just kind of quit on it, unfortunately, and you just don't see them do that very often. But on that particular play, some of the guys thought they had made the tackle on it, and Brent Cotter hadn't quit, and he breaks it 81 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like Brent Cotter was stacked up. It looked like the play was just about to be whistled dead. He breaks out of the pack, and it was gone as Randy Rich did his best to try to catch up with him. But as you mentioned, Wilkes was kind of shielding him away from Brent Cotter. And, yeah, it looks like it puts the game out of reach.
Randy Rich did everything he could to try to chase him down, but he just didn't have a chance. He started from too far behind, and Wilkes was in his way, too, to just brush him enough to keep him away. Andy Cox for the conversion. High placement. Going to have to run with it. Maroons will try to, they're going to try to throw the football in the end zone. It's incomplete. The holder on that particular play, Anthony Wrigley, who's a backup running back, a junior, made a pretty good pass there, kept his composure, rolling out right, but it goes incomplete. So it's 20-0 in favor of St. Teresa with 4 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the 4th quarter of play. We'll be back with the St. Teresa kickoff in a moment.
Are you ready for a new look? Maybe you just want to spruce up the look you have. Amber Green.
So well here in the second half of play, kept hanging in there, kept giving the offense a chance, and the offense just couldn't quite capitalize. They threatened, but St. Teresa just rose to the occasion each time and shut down the Maroons offense. And finally, they broke the big one. Brent Cotter, running hard, breaks into the clear and is able to take it all the way 81 yards for a touchdown that would appear to put this ball game away. Have them up by 3 touchdowns, 20-0. That's a real backbreaker for the Maroons, Joe.
Yeah, Brent Cotter, it really... And on the play, it looked like it was a harmless play. It looked like maybe 4 yards, and he was done. And he made a great play to break away from the tacklers, and then he was in the clear, and he was running his hardest, and Randy was running his hardest, and he just found his way to the end zone.
Urbanowitz, who's done a great job on his kickoffs, ready to do another one here. He hits them high, and he hits them fairly long. This one real high, not as long. About the 24-yard line for Schumacher. trying to get it outside, but he's taken down after about a 5-yard return to the 29-yard line. Next week for the Maroons, we finally go on the road. I don't know if my car knows how to go to another football field. It always finds its way out here. The first 4 games in a row we're here at home. But we go to Sullivan. 7 o'clock is kickoff time. We'll be there live. And, of course, also taping for the video tape delay broadcast on TV, Channel 10, next week at Sullivan. All right, the Maroons again on offense, this time starting just near their own 30-yard line. And Sams for Igems out here in the right flat, incomplete. Had to lead him a little too far toward the sideline because there was pretty good coverage by Tim Shook, and it drops incomplete off the hands of Bob. And I don't know, maybe the Maroons are starting to finally run out of gas. They play so many guys so much of the time out there, and they have played so hard, given it so much effort. And I think they're just wearing out here with only 4 minutes to go in the ball game, a little bit over.
Well, plus a run like that, Brinkotter, where it essentially just about ends the games, it takes the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, it certainly does. And not scoring that last time hurt some, too. Here's another pop out here for Schumacher. Makes the catch. Now he's going to curl back in. Stays on his feet. Goes down to the 40-yard line. He's very close to a first down. Ryan's had some good catches in this ball game. Bob Igems has had some terrific catches in this ball game. That one that took him down to the 13 was a big catch. Unfortunately, the Maroons just couldn't quite capitalize. We've had some big plays between the 10s. And we've had some big plays between the 5s, but boy, we just can't get it quite into the end zone against St. Teresa. It is a first down. So at the 40-yard line of Clinton, the Maroons now with still over 4 minutes to go. They've had the ball in the air a lot, so they're not running the time off the clock too quickly. 3 wideouts to the right-hand side. It's Schumacher in the backfield. Sam's rolling out. He's under pressure. Steps up the line of scrimmage. Pops it downfield. And a collision there. The pass is incomplete as the 2 guys go for it. It was Randy Rich and what? Dawson? Ryan Campbell. Ryan Campbell. I don't know where I drew Dawson. Monticello.
Thinking ahead, Larry.
I'm thinking way ahead.
I think he even graduated.
I think he did. Oh, never mind. Ignore that. But guys start picking on me again. It's late in the game. My eyeballs are starting to cross, and you start picking on me. 4 minutes and 5 seconds. I don't know why you would pick on me. I never pick on you.
All right.
3 wideouts to the left-hand side on 2nd and 10 for the Maroons at their own 40. Sam's rolling out to the left-hand side, pops over the middle through the hands of Randy Rich, incomplete near the 50-yard line. It was a little high, and Randy just couldn't quite grab that ball cleanly.
Yeah.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Yeah, they ran a crossing pattern to Randy Rich. It was a little tough to handle. Just couldn't hang on. Now 3rd down and long, and that's something that happened a lot to halt the drives. The 3rd and long situations, St. Teresa's got some good pressure.
They have been getting in there and bothering Sam some. Quick pop over the middle. It was tender for Wes Craze, and somebody got a hand on it along the line of scrimmage and knocks it down incomplete. A couple of the guys celebrating. Joe Fike was one of those guys, and the other was
Nick Boehm.
Huh?
Nick Boehm, number 89.
Okay, I saw Matt Jedlicka also celebrating, but I think he was just congratulating Joe Fike. Those 2 guys on the line of scrimmage there. 4th and 10. Sams is back to punt from his own 30-yard line, and he will do so. Ooh, booming kick that's going to carry over Wilkes' head, and boy, it's going to ricochet into the end zone. That's a heck of a boot. That's a 60-yard punt by Nate Sams. Holy cow. And when it hit the ground, it was 50 yards in the air, and it shot for the end zone and carried several yards into the end zone before it finally rolled dead, Joe.
Yeah, he got all that ball. It was up in the air. Not too high. It was kind of just like a line drive kick. Hit the turf and just immediately bounced toward the end zone.
So St. Teresa will start at their own 20-yard line and try to run the remaining minutes off the clock here. Down to 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. So next week we go to Sullivan. The following week we go to Meridian High School, Macon, new member of the conference. So 2 road games in a row. The next home game for the Maroons is in 3 weeks. It's homecoming against Maroa Forsyth. 20-0 lead for St. Teresa. And they'll give it to Overrocker. Final opening. Hey, did they knock it? I thought maybe for a moment they knocked it out of his hands. Wishful thinking there. He simply goes down after about a 2 or 3 yard gain on the play.
Schumacher on the tackle.
He carries that ball out there sometimes. You just think he ought to be able to knock it out of his hands, but he doesn't put it on the ground too often.
You really think he would, because he does carry it out loosely in one arm, but he holds on to it.
Let me get this straight. You're in agreement with me for once.
Yeah.
2nd down and 8 from their own 22. sending a man in motion, and there's a flag before the snap, and offsides against Clinton is the call by the official here along the line of scrimmage. So there's still over 3 minutes to go on the clock. I always have to lean forward, try to look around that pole down there. It makes it difficult. 3:11 on the clock for the ball game. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 on WHOW AM and FM radio, it's Coach's Corner with Coach Chuck Nagel. Chuck, I believe, is going to join us. There was some discussion. I thought maybe he had something else going on. We might have one of the assistant coaches with us tomorrow morning, but I think we'll have a Coach's Corner program of some sort tomorrow morning at 9:30. When I came into the booth, Kevin was telling me maybe one of the other guys are going to talk to me, but they hadn't decided yet.
Yeah, a little mix-up in who's going to pick up the tapes.
Overrocker on the right-hand side has a first down and a lot more. He's out to the 42-yard line. Good solid run. Got about, 20 yards on the carry. 18, 20 yards on that one, and that will keep the clock running for St. Teresa out to the 41 they give him, and a 1st and 10. Yardage-wise in this ball game, they're going to have a little bit of an upper edge, but we've certainly put some yardage in the books in this ball game. Central Catholic held us down a little bit yardage-wise, but that was our first game, and really turnovers were a big part of that. But I still like St. Teresa's defense a little bit stronger than Central Catholic. Certainly when it comes down to crunch time, they know how to keep us out of the end zone. On 1st and 10, Brinkhotter gets the call, looking for an opening, and punches it out for about 4 yards, maybe 5 to the 46-yard line. And the clock under 2:20 to go in this ball game.
And I'll agree with you there, too, Larry.
Wow.
Because I think the thing about St. Teresa is not only do they have so much size, but they have so much speed. I mean, they close on the ball particularly well, and in some certain circumstances, it looks like a pass play is going to be open, and then they still get a guy to knock it away.
Bear with me. From time to time, I might try to check on that other ball game, Sullivan and Monticello, and see how our opponent next week, Sullivan's doing in their ball game at home against Monticello. New back, Jeremy Evans gets the call, and he has about 5 yards on the play. He's going to be close to a first down to the 49-yard line. So they're just in the Clinton territory, and the clock is now down to under 1:50 to go in the ball game.
And it will be a loss this week, but I think it's one you can take a lot of positives out. Clinton, by no means, even though they're down 3 touchdowns, was blown out of this ball game. It's kind of like you said about Monticello, Larry. They played them tough, but the score just doesn't show it.
Well, 20-0 still looks a lot better than 37-0,
Yeah.
That's for sure. And anybody that looks at this tape is going to give the Clinton Maroons a lot of credit. Jeremy Evans got the first down carry on the next play here and is down to the 45-yard line of Clinton as we just play this one out. They've got some more subs in there. Some of their starters come out. This football team is ranked number 2 in Class 2A, and rightfully so. You know, when I saw that they went to Carlinville and beat Carlinville, who was rated number 2 in 3A at that time, and won 13-6 there, you know, you knew they were for real. Of course, you knew that coming into the season based upon what they've done the last 2 years and everybody they had coming back. Here's another carry for Evans, and he is into the secondary, and Schumacher drags him down about the 32-yard line. A weary Clinton Maroon team trying to hang in there and just run out the clock here. 1:24 to go, but St. Teresa's putting together a pretty good drive with some reserves in there now.
And maybe a look to the future here. Evans, a sophomore, impressing pretty good, although he's fresh legs coming in against the defense that's been on the field.
He's only been out there a couple of times in some kicking situations. Now getting a chance to show his wares at the tailback. This would be, you know, one of those chances. Fourth quarter games, I suppose he gets some opportunities. Here he goes again. Little opening on the right-hand side and stumbles forward and gets down to about the 25-yard line. A gain of about 7 yards on the play, and Bob Idgens makes the tackle for the Maroons. Maybe about 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 coming up. They're near the 25, just outside the 25 of Clinton with 45 seconds to go. Clock running in the ball game. St. Teresa leading Clinton 20-0. On the way, they're upping their record, that is, to 4-0 and 2-0 in conference play. Clinton will be even at 2-2, but we've got a real opportunity with the way we're playing football so far this year to go on a string here and run off the last 5 ball games. They won't all be easy, but we can win all 5 of our remaining ball games, no doubt about it.
Yeah, even though the Maroon defense yielded 20 points this game, really you look at it, one score was at the end of the ball game. The defense has played great just about, well, the defense has played great every week. And that's just a plus. I mean, you win with defense, and the defense has been there.
Well, you know, with all the questions we had about our line play, They're not totally answered, but they still are playing well enough to win a bunch of ball games this year. It wasn't enough tonight against Decatur St. Teresa, but not a bad performance at all by the Clinton Maroons. We'll come back and recap it for you in just a moment. Decatur St. Teresa defeats our Clinton Maroons by a score of 20-0. Recap it from Clinton High School. These two teams congratulate each other on the ball game at the center of the field. And then St. Teresa is going to jog off here to the south goal, it looks like, and the Maroons will have their traditional post-game huddle out there in the center of the field around the 20-yard line. It's not as easy, I'm sure, for Coach Chuck Nagel and his coaching staff to come up with some words following a ball game like this one, but he can still give them some praise because they played this highly rated St. Teresa team very tough here tonight, coming up on the short end 20-0. But St. Teresa has a no. They were in a ball game here tonight. A couple first-half scores by St. Teresa. Shane Overocker only got in the end zone once tonight. It was a 30-yard run, 31-yard run early in the ball game with 7:54 to go in the first period of play. The kick was good, and it was 7-0 St. Teresa. And then they scored in the second period of play with 4:46 to go before halftime when Justin Brinkotter got the first of his 2 touchdown runs from 15 yards out. Kick good after that one, 14-0. That was the halftime lead for St. Teresa. The Maroons had opportunities to score, well, in the first half and especially in the second half of play. Some opportunities in the third quarter, but St. Teresa would stop us when we get down there close. And it ended up being a scoreless third period of play. And into the fourth period of play we went until pretty late in the ball game. I even forgot to write down the time, but it was late in the contest, 4 minutes, I think it was 4 something to go in the ball game, 4:45 or something like that. I was weary at that point, Joe. And Brinkotter broke that 81-yard touchdown run to put icing on the cake. They didn't get the conversion, and that's the final, 20-0 in favor of St. Teresa. Statistically, though, this ball game wasn't near as one-sided as the final score might indicate, was it, Joe?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Nate Sams picked up a lot of yards on the option. He had 82 yards on 17 carries. Wilson had 78 yards on 20 carries. Randy Rich also picked up 9 yards. Nate Sams, 12 of 29 pass attempts, 136 yards. Bob Eigens, the leading receiver, with 54 yards, 4 catches. Schumacher had 45 yards on 4 catches. Wilson had 2 catches, 23 yards. Wes Graves had 2 catches for 24 yards. For St. Teresa, Shane Overocker, 23 attempts, 199 yards. Justin Brinkotter, 15 carries, 172 yards. Granted, half that is on one run just throughout. Evans picked up 34 yards in mop-up, and not too many passing attempts. Taps got 1 of 3, 13 yards.
I'm just trying to pick up a score on Monticello Sullivan. There's only 20-some seconds to go in the ball game. They didn't say the score, but it's obvious that Monticello is trailing Sullivan. It sounds like there's still maybe a chance for Monticello. They're not making it sound like it's over and there's no chance, so it must be only a touchdown or less difference in the ball game. But Sullivan's on the verge of winning that ball game at home. So we might be going into a situation where Sullivan will be coming off a win over Monticello when we make that trip down there next Friday. But that's fine. That's fine. And, you know, we had a heck of a ball game with them down there last year, the 15-14 come-from-behind victory. I mean, we saw something like it a couple times earlier in the season, but that was right down to the last second to that game last year. I don't know how we can top that.
Yeah, and it was probably the best play of the year because Nate Sams on the right side of the field threw all the way across his body to the left side of the field, and just a great play by Schumacher in the end zone. He jumped very high in the air to get it.
Well, Joe, this coaching staff will have to try to regroup this team, next week. I don't think that'll be difficult. These kids aren't about to quit on this season. They're 2-2, and they still have a strong shot at the playoffs.